Hello, everyone. Welcome to the collegiate semifinals. We've got University of Waterloo versus University of Toronto facing off. Today, I am joined by Divine Muffin. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm super excited for the series we have ahead of us. The stakes today are huge, and I'm just really excited to see what these teams have in store for us.
Yeah, we've got a banger best of five kicking off. Both of these teams, they were undefeated in the regular season and they've made their way to the semifinals here. And a win here means that they can make it to the nationals. So big stakes on the line, really strong teams. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, those teams going undefeated in the regular season, both of them, that is. So that makes this pretty much, I guess, a powerhouse matchup. We'll see which team can really take home the victory today. I expect it to be pretty close. This will be a best of five. So definitely a close match ahead of us, I believe.
Yeah, everyone who's watching, get your food, get comfortable. It's going to be a lot of amazing games. I want it to go all five games. I want it to be an amazing series. Can't wait to get started.
Yeah, I hope we're in store for those full 5 games. Like you said, a good back and forth, or maybe I don't want to say a reverse sweep because that might be a bit heartbreaking for some, but definitely 5 games, get the silver scrapes going. It'll be really exciting.
Yeah, and before we kick it off, we can just talk a bit about some of these teams. We've got some strong players on each of these sides, and they've shown some really amazing play. Do you have any key standout players that you're looking out for today?
Yeah, I'm not going to be biased and talk about Waterloo first, so instead I'll look at the UFT. I think CR Huing is definitely the key player for the University of Toronto. He's been their, I guess, their primary carry that they tend to play around. He has a super high kill participation, and he tends to be the, I guess, center of attention for that team as the ADC. What are you looking at on the side of U Waterloo?
Yeah, Waterloo's also got a really strong team. I think they're just really well-centered players. Waterloo's got the fastest average win time, and you, that just means that you got a really good team that knows how to close out games. A player that I want to watch out for is Callum Coy here. He's got the second most assists in the league, and yeah, that just shows that he's really proactive, gets into the fights, and is very impactful in these games. So we get to see how he performs today.
Yeah, I really like that you point that out. Callum Coyne notably is actually has role swapped somewhat recently to the support role. He was originally an ADC player and decided to fill in for support for U Waterloo, deciding that that was the best, I guess, team that they could form together. And he's been performing exceptionally in the role. And yeah, as an ex ADC, I think he really knows how to play around their ADC Last Dance DF. He knows what resources they need, and just making sure that the team can be get the resources they need in order to win. Like you said, those assists coming through and just getting the team to victory.
Yeah, with that said, I believe we are ready to go into draft, so let's head straight in there. Oh, actually, never mind. It's going to be a bit more time. But yeah, other than that, looking a bit more at the playstyles, we can start off with University of Waterloo first this time. And what you see is you got a lot of meta picks, this being a really high elo combination, but we've seen a lot of Zaya, Zeri, Aphelios, things late game scaling ADCs that they've been trying to play paired with things like the Lulu, Yumi, and even things like Ash. So do you think that's something that what UFT is going to be able to punish coming into this, or is it just going to be like, yeah, it's just a scaling battle on both sides of the ball lane?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to come down to the scaling battle. If you're looking at the game time, as you said, Waterloo did have the fastest one at about 23 minutes on average. UFT is much slower at 29, so I think they really do prefer that scaling playstyle, getting their ADC going. Like I said, hooing their focus of attention, really trying to carry games through that. So if it comes down to the scaling game, which I think it very well might be, because at this high level of play, teams tend to play more I guess conservatively, especially given that this is a high stakes match. So I think it will come down to that scaling matchup. We'll see which team can play a cleaner game and scale into a victory in the mid or end game.
Yeah, and looking at the counterpart of the support of Callum, we've got Snow on the other side, and seeing at what he's been playing, this guy plays literally everything. So I want to see some spicy picks coming out to punish this. I almost want to say like predictable pick that's going to come from Waterloo. We know the Huing's been playing Varus a lot, which is a bit stronger compared to some of the other meta ADCs, or there's things like the Caitlyn as well. So I have to see if they're going to bring out some exciting matchups to get the push, get an early lead, things like that.
Yeah, the champion pool for sure is something to take a look at. Like you said, Snow able to play everything. So up against Callum Coy, who, like I said, was more of a recent support, might have that champion pool advantage, able to pull something out that maybe Waterloo won't expect. Waterloo, like you said many times already, probably going to go more standard. I don't think there's too much on their side that's, I guess, sort of unpredictable or of a really pocket pick. So yeah, like you said, I'm not expecting anything super irregular going into this draft.
Yeah, and looking at the picks in general, usually there's going to be a bit of overlap between the teams, but actually looking at these two teams, there's not a lot of overlap. Each team kind of has their own style. As we are getting straight into the draft here, some meta junglers being banned out instantly with the Vi and the Gragas.
Yep, UFT on the blue side, they will have that first pick, so I guess they're going to be taking out some strong counter picks. They're probably going to prioritize, um, I guess, a high priority pick with having that first pick available to them. So I guess we'll see what we uh, get out of them. And like you said, that Gragas ban from Warriors, super flexible pick, not just in jungle but for top, probably possibly mid as well.
Yeah, and the Maokai, another strong jungler coming out, as well as the Jace, a flex pick that can go top or mid, something really good to pick early being taken out of their hands.
Yeah, Jace probably would have been targeted towards Fortunate on the side of UFT, their top laner. Um, he has played Jace in the past, so a targeted ban there. Hopefully, not letting him, I guess, flex his muscles on Jace that well. And UFT currently hovering yet another jungle ban on Lee Sin. We'll see if this goes through.
Yeah, it's interesting because I believe Legons plays a lot of Lee Sin, especially in their recent series, so they want to try and get him off that comfort pick if this does end up going through, and yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, the triple jungle bans from UFT coming out towards Warriors Legans in the jungle, really forcing him to pull out something that I guess is not as they
Yeah,
might not
looking
be
at
as
the
comfortable with. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, looking at things that are still left up, meta ADCs are all still there, so I think they're looking to trade it. But a few meta junglers are still left up as well. You got things like the Wukong or the J4, the Sejuani, and they're gonna pick up the Varus instantly, going for the strong bot lane.
Like you said, coming into this hooing, playing that Varus a lot, and they're just going to take that first round, having that as a priority pick. And that's going to be an Aphelios hover from the side of Waterloo for Last Dance DF.
Yeah, and should be picking one of these late game scaling ADCs most likely. Not gonna have a super strong early presence, but it's gonna be that Aphelios locked in. We'll see if something like the Lulu comes in here as well. But yeah, looking at this lane, I want to see UFT try and pick something really strong early, like pick up the Heimer, the Ashe, or something interesting like that to try and get the push. And it looks like it's the Sejuani coming out.
Yep, with those jungle bans, forcing Legans onto the Sejuani, one of the few meta junglers still open. UFT hovering, possibly just handshaking the Wukong, two of the top junglers in this meta. But yeah, like you said, with that Aphelios, hopefully UFT can pick, or maybe UFT will pick more of a stronger support to try to punish that in lane. Definitely something that you don't want to let get scaled up.
Yeah, and the Wukong is locked in. The usual junglers you see
Yeah.
nowadays, get some engage in there, has some decent scaling, good in team fights, just some balanced picks coming out. And yeah, let's see. I'm expecting to see the support pick here. So a lot of different options. We'll see what they've been comfortable with. As I mentioned before, Snow is pretty much just playing like a different character every game. So we'll see what ends up coming out here.
Yep, support pick makes sense. Leave their solo lanes to hopefully get at least one counter pick. Oh, it's actually the Ari going to be
Hmm.
locked in for Little Frosty in the mid lane. He has recently played this champion, so it's not super I guess surprising to see. But taking it blind this early is definitely I guess rather on the airing on the uncommon side.
Yeah, and the Nautilus being hovered by Callum. But looks like I think it should be the Lulu coming over. But yeah, the Ari early was really interesting because Ari is a champion that can be generally picked blind, doesn't have any hard counters in the meta or anything like that. So they just want to make sure to get um Frosty on that comfort pick and have him ready for this game rearing to go as a Lulu gets locked in.
For sure, Aphelios Lulu, very common matchup. I was gonna say it was a bit odd to see that Warriors banned out the Thresh, with Aphelios Thresh being a very common duo, but
Mhm.
Callum Coy not the most comfortable on Thresh, not really having shown it being played. So yeah, Lulu Aphelios, super good combo, and definitely something like we said we don't want to let get scaled up.
Yeah, and we should see some support bands coming out here, but Snow has a pretty big champion pool, so there are a lot of different things that we've seen him pick up in these past few series. And on the other side, you've seen that the Ari's been picked up, so I want to see some bans that going off from the side of UFT on that mid lane.
Hovering the Cassante ban for now. That Nautilus ban, like you said, targeted towards Snow, even though he has a huge champion pool, you still want to probably hit those champions that could punish the Aphelios. Nautilus with that strong engage and targeted ulti, getting that off the table for water or for the Warriors is extremely good.
Yeah, Waterloo's top laner in Exhaustive has been spamming the Cassandre, so they want to take that right away from him, as he's a really strong character right now. As another top lane ban being exchanged, as it should be the Jax coming in. Both Aatrox and Jax have been played by Fortunate recently.
Yeah, Jack's definitely a target ban, not the most meta champion right now, but it has been played in some of the major leagues, and it will go through, just limiting that pool further for Fortunate. Like you said, the Cassante ban definitely targeted towards Inexhaustive, so we'll see if what he'll be played, what he'll play instead. Like we said, the Aatrox is still open. I expect this last ban to also be targeted towards top from UFT, just limit that champion from Exhaustive even more.
Yeah, and it's actually might be the Silas here. It's something that Onat's been playing a lot recently, and that gets taken away from him. And yeah, there's still a few of the comfort picks left, like the Rise, Victor, and or even something spicy like the Collie. So we'll see what mid lane they end up picking up here. I assume it should be the mid and get the counter for top.
That's an
Ooh, it's a flex.
Irelia Hubbard right now. Yeah, it is a flex pick. I don't believe that between Onat and Inexhaustive it's been a super popular pick. So I don't expect that to go through, but we'll see if they do decide to make that pick. Nope, it's gonna be the Victor.
Yeah, makes a lot more sense. Just a standard mid laner that can also scale well. But yeah, it's been a lot of scaling on the side of Waterloo so far. We're gonna have to see if UFT can try and punish that, as Ari can get off the ground, has a bit more playmaking, their ult and her charm in the mid game compared to what Victor can offer.
Yeah, super interesting to see. On the side of UFT, this can also be a scaling comp if you pick the on hit Varus and you try to play for those early dragons. That said, not sure we won't be able to see what kind of Varus it is until we get in game. And also pairing it with a Rakan, I do believe I would lean this towards a poke Varus that tends to be more meta after the on hit nerfs,
Mhm.
but we'll have to see.
Yeah, Rakan and looks like Gnar. They've got a decent amount of dive coming out of this composition. A lot of people who can get right in there and try and get on those carries of UW.
Yeah, we'll see if this Nar pick goes through. Actually, I think this is it is going to. This is
Mhm.
not a pick we've seen too much out of Fortune, I believe.
Yeah, and it's replied by the Aatrox, something Not Exhausted has pulled out a few times. So it's a pretty good matchup into the Gnar here, saying so myself. And yeah, just gets a bit more stronger in the mid game, which I think they were kind of lacking on. And yeah, you've got a really standard team fight composition coming out by Waterloo, and a bit more, still pretty standard, but more dive from the side of UFT.
Yep, that Aatrox is gonna locked in. Like you said, coming into this, it's very definitely erring towards the standard side of draft. We don't see anything
Mhm.
super, um, I guess, uncommon or anti-meta. Aatrox is not super popular recently, but this is Inexhaustive's favorite pick, arguably not pocket pick per se, but it is one of the champions that he's super comfortable on. So we'll see if he can punish that Gnar. And yeah, in terms of scaling, once again, I'm gonna have to see what kind of Varus it is, but we'll see how they decide to play this out.
Yeah, I'm just happy it wasn't like Orin Malphite top lane. These top laners, they're coming here, they're coming to play. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna beat this other guy up. Give me my comfort pick, and I'll pop off.
Yeah, for sure. As we hopefully get into game in not too long. Yeah, I'm just overall, what draft do you like better?
Yeah, I think we've seen a much safer, less risky draft coming out from the side of Waterloo. As long as they don't make any big mistakes, they scale up nicely. Their team fight should be good. But on the side of UFT, you got a lot more playmaking. And yeah, I know I've got that Waterloo bias, but yeah, like I think it's easier to mess up what's on the side of UFT, but they are very good players. So I don't see any big edges in draft in any of the teams. It can honestly go either way.
Definitely agree. Like you said, that in terms of that execution, if UFT messes up their engage, Warriors will be able to punish. They'll be able to get their, I guess, snowball rolling and make sure that they can get safely into their power spikes. Um,
Mhm.
like we said, also going before into this, Warriors do have that very fast average game time. I'm not sure if they've been tested super hard early on in their earlier games, so we'll see if UFT can punish that, and we'll see if Warriors is comfortable playing into, I guess, a longer matchup.
Yeah, exactly. And like looking at the win conditions of both these teams, like UFT need to try and do something a bit more early. Like, and by early, I don't mean like in the first few levels, but when they do start unlocking those ults, like the Wukong
Yeah,
ult, the Rakan ult, Varus ult, that's very like easy to start diving with. So they need to start being proactive in the mid game and trying to get things like the dragons, the heralds, and try and set themselves up to get like thousands of golds of advantage into that late game.
absolutely. And um, yeah, I just hope to see how this turns out. I believe we'll be getting into game in not too long as we just wait for the players to get loaded in. Um, but yeah, I guess just to talk about this overall playoff bracket some more. Like we said, this is the semifinals of the CLol um, competition.
Yeah, and as we said, both undefeated teams, one of those streaks is going to be broken today, and for the other one, they get to see nationals. So really high stakes on the line. I'm sure the pressure is on the players as well. So you're not going to see like crazy picks coming out game one, as we expect. But yeah, like both of these teams, they haven't like I believe they only lost one game each during the entire season.
Mhm.
So like mistakes haven't been found from them. No team has figured out how to beat each team or anything like that. So I think that's what's going to make the series so much more interesting. I think the picks and the ban should really revolve around like the results of each game. So if the let's say this Gnar just ends up popping off or the Aatrox is too good, like that's going to be a ban on the next game. Going to open some things up and should make the series really spicy.
Yeah, for sure. Spice is something we hope to see going in or going into the future games in this series. Like you said, this first game definitely going to be important. Winning it will get the momentum going for later on as well, and just super excited to once we get into game.
Yeah. And other than that, like just thinking about as we actually get loaded right into game here, just standard summoners across the board, nothing crazy that we see here. Spellbook from the Ari and Ignite from the Rakan are the notable things.
Yeah, Spellbook Ari definitely erring on the side of utility. Little Frosty is not, um, I guess, planning to be the main carry for UFT here. He is solo AP on that side. However, with Hooing, with on actually the lethal tempo Varus indicating he's going for the full on hit carry build, Little Frosty's not going to have to be the primary damage output for the team.
Yeah, and they'll be able to have a bit more strength in those later game team fights with that, but that does come at the cost of not being as good early. We know the Pokeverse is really scary, just like few minutes into the game when he gets just a couple items. But not going to be the same. But does that mean would you give the edge to Waterloo in that their team fights would be better in the late game anyways, or do you think Ari can still provide as much value as the Victor like 30 minutes into a game?
Yeah, if it ends up getting to the late game, I'm gonna have to favor Warriors in team fights. I think their scaling is just a bit better with that Victor into the Spellbook. We have a level one auto duo coming out actually in the mid lane. One that's gonna win that out. Trading against Victor level one, not ideal for most champions, and Ari is definitely not one that can take him on. So he's gonna get chunked out. But yeah,
Yeah, it was a good trade initially, but I think Ari does have the corrupting pot, so she does favor from these trades. Not sure if she was able to proc the impact of the corruption potion, but if they continue to do so, it should be better for the Ari, at least in the like first few minutes of the game. But you can see this Victor is not scared. He's not like I'm gonna farm till 10 minutes. He's here to fight.
Yeah, definitely a matchup where Victor can take the edge early on. And just looking at the jungler, Sejuani on the side of Warriors is starting red side pathing towards bot, while Wukong is actually pathing towards top for his Gnar. So you can see that there's a bit of, I guess, variance here on where the focus will be for the junglers.
Yeah, Waterloo getting a ward on the enemy Raptors to spot out. Oh my god, Ari's just getting destroyed a little bit. But yeah, the junglers are pathing away from each other, which means a bit less action. As Aphelios Lulu showing their prowess, getting the wave advantage with this Lulu being pretty strong in the early levels with the range to melee support matchup, they are able to get that prio.
Yeah, Felios with the Calibrum has that range advantage, able to just poke out with that Lulu. Rakan not able to offer much this early on, and like we said, not a poke. Ooh, the charm's gonna go wide from Little Frosty. He's gonna take poke back for it. This mid lane is getting blown open a bit. Little Frosty down all her corrupting pod charges now.
Yeah, Onat is lethal with it. As soon as he sees the charm miss, he walks up and gets a decent trade. And this is the kind of stuff like you completely pressure the opponent and they're not able to move. As Qs just continue to land here.
Yeah, this might actually just force Little Frosty to back up, which he will. He's gonna go back to base. Onat, not much mana, but he still with has lethal pressure likely. So Little Frosty fortunately will have TP and catch most of this wave. He's gonna actually instantly channel it, not even healing up to full, but he will catch most of that wave in
Yeah,
exchange
he's
for
gonna
it.
take a cheater as well. And yeah, like not coming back to lane with full HP, gonna maybe have to pop some pods. As Victor's gonna be able to take his time and not lose as many minions. I believe Ari will still just be down in a few CS regardless. So really good start for the Victor in this game.
Yeah, huge start for Victor, like you said in the CS, already effectively up one whole wave. We see that the one point of pressure for UFT is that Nar, who's been pushed in for most of this game. We'll see if Old Tan can make anything happen on the Wukong, but with Aatrox under turret, I don't expect much to happen here. Oh, they actually
Yeah,
are
they've
pulling Little
actually got
Frosty up
three
as
people
well.
come in, and
Inexhaustive sniffed it out. He's channeling the back.
yeah, and we'll see if he does end up staying. Nope, he's
Ooh.
gone.
Yeah, not sure if Fortunate meant to try to cancel the back there, but his boomerang did hit a minion, so it didn't get that full range. But it looked like he was aiming the boomerang towards canceling that TP. Fortunately, unfortunately for Fortunate, I should say, did
Yeah.
not work out.
But honestly, it's not that bad. You get the TP out of the Aatrox for just a few minions lost from Ari here. As Sejuani comes, they're going to see if they can make something happen.
Fortunate manages to sneak out of the chains, but Legan's on top of him now. I believe he already used his hop. He's gonna try to kite this out and exhausted. The stun's gonna come out from the Sejuani. Can he get out? He's gonna burn the flash, but it's not gonna be enough. Follow up from the Aatrox. It's gonna be first blood for Inexhaustive.
Yeah, first blood going over to the Aatrox. Sejuani with the melee laner, that's just so much CC. Like, even if the Gnar managed to dodge that doubly, it's a really long lane, and they just managed to run him down.
Yeah, I feel like he maybe held flash a bit too long. They're letting that Sejuani stun come through. If he just maybe flashed earlier, he could have avoided it, but they were already on top of him, so that was not looking too great for him. And that's the strong point for UFT. Getting first blooded, you see he's the only one with a CS lead on the side of UFT.
Yeah, and Victor continues to exert this pressure as the Wukong, the Lulu coming in over here, just making sure that the mid lane doesn't go array in any way. And yeah, like Nars flashes down and he died, while Sejuani's flash is still up. So I want to see another
Hmm.
visit to that top lane to continue to pressure there, as they might just stop the back here.
Yep, greedy back by Hui in the middle of the lane. He's gonna get cancelled. No half health and no mana. Oh, he's actually gonna decide to stay instead while Last Dance shoves out the wave with the Infernum. But yeah,
Yeah,
like you said, Legans hopefully makes a return visit to that flashless Gnar.
yeah, and like just looking at the CS numbers here, even though Nard did get first blooded, he is up a decent amount of CS still, making sure
Hmm.
to zone Aatrox out in those early levels. As the dragon is being started up by the side of Waterloo, because they know Varus doesn't have mana. Ari's poked out a lane, so this should be a free first dragon for them.
Yep, huge and smart play by Warriors. Like you said, that Varus not being able to get back is pretty meaningful. It means they can get it for free, although I don't think they would have contested it either way with Ultan on Wukong pathing to the top side. Oh, it's actually Onat's going to ult to clear out the wave mid here. Little Frosty's 0
Yeah.
HP again under turret.
Yeah, and this ult, I really like it because he gets so much pressure, gets the heal, and like Ari just
Oh.
can't even walk up. Great flash.
Yeah, Onat flashing a bit defensively, not going over the charm, but rather to the side so he can't keep chasing the kill. That means he's not going to he's gonna have to walk out as Ultan comes to pick up the wave. Little Frosty managing to save his flash, only burning that heal from the spellbook.
Yeah, bit of an overexertion there as he does have to burn the flash because the Ari charm was still up, and Ari comes with a catalyst as her first buy as she walks back to lane.
Yep, going for the row on Ari. I guess teching even more so into that utility build. Hopefully have some more HP, not building full damage like we would have expect like we might have seen with a full damage build, which would have been either Ludens or Leandries.
Yeah, it's not one of those lost chapter items which will heavily decrease the amount of damage that Ari can get done. She's not going to be able to one-shot someone out of a bush or anything like that. Will have to be more of a try and keep working with your ults and distracting them, creating space for the Varus and the team fights coming up.
For sure, and I think that's fair. Not to bash on the little Frosty at all, but knowing that she might be on the back foot in this matchup against Onat's Victor, being able to guarantee that you have some usage with the utility is a pretty smart play instead of trying to carry from a losing position.
Yeah, exactly. I like the thought process coming out there. And just looking at this game state, I like Waterloo is having push everywhere, and we'll see if that signifies into any more objectives as the Herald is now up. I'm sure both junglers got their eyes on it. We'll see what ends up happening.
Yep, level 6 is out for both junglers. There's actually going to be a little scuffle in the top river. Legan's ult's going to come out onto Ultan's cop, but there's no real follow-up from anyone. Legan's trying to chase the kill by himself. Ultan already used the clone. He's going to have to flash in order to get out, and he will. But actually, a good play by Legan's, forcing the flash on Wukong. I did not expect that to turn out for anything.
Yeah, Legan's just asserting his dominance, saying, "This is my Herald, back off." And Wukong doesn't want to burn his ult there, so he's gonna lose that fight really badly. As Sejuani, she doesn't need follow-up. She's been damaged at this point of the game. Like Sejuani has a sneakily crazy amount of damage and 1v1 potential coming from a tank of all people. So this should be the Herald coming over to UW as they've got a very strong start to the game already.
Yeah, taking control of the entire map, really. Getting that first blood, like we said, on the one losing lane, getting a Herald and a Dragon. I feel like this game is sort of falling back for UFT. Their level 6 power spikes didn't really show for anything just yet. So I guess we'll have to see if they can find a way to get a lead back.
Yeah, they need to try and make some plays. I need to see the Wukong try and do something with his ult, try and get a kill onto just anywhere, as it's slowly starting to slip away from UFT because even though it doesn't look like a big
Oh,
lead, oh my god,
Inexhaustive almost gets the solo kill. I don't think his flash was up just yet.
few
Otherwise,
seconds off.
yeah, unlucky. Fortune's gonna just scurry away with a sliver of HP. Inexhaustive taking advantage of that first blood that he got that advantage early on.
Yeah, Nar looks into the river as he got another
Against
fight.
moving bot, Frozen, or excuse me, Sejuani ult's gonna land onto blue on the Rakan. It's gonna be a kill. Wukong ult's gonna come out to try to trade it back, but Kalankhoi flashes out. Last Dance has his lethal tempo stacked up. He's autoing. Leganza's gonna go in and flash onto Hurin to take him out, and Oltan's gonna go down as well. That's the flashless Wukong. It's a double kill for Last Dance DF.
Yeah, and it's just a disaster for UFT there. They try to make a play, but Legans is there. They pick up the first kill, and Ultan, he sees an angle, he almost gets the Lulu there as he goes in, but Lulu has the ult, has a flash, and is able to keep herself alive, while Sejuani comes in and turns the tides as, oh my god, that's a lot of plates for the Aphelios.
Last Dance is absolutely huge right now. He's up 13 CS and those plates and the double kill. This Aphelios is gonna get out of control right here. 4.4k on him. He has he has over a 1k lead on the Huing on Varus.
Yeah, just a gigantic gold lead and a little bounty coming out for him as the dragon is now spawning up and they're able to get their resets in time. Aphelios has Gale Force already. And Victor's, he's going for a kill. He trades the ulties.
Yeah, trade of
As,
ulti is mid.
yeah.
But yeah, like you said, that Gale Force on Aphelios already just 10 minutes in, 11 minutes now, but this Aphelios is massive.
Yeah, just hitting this power spike so early, just it almost secures the next dragon. Like, they do not want to fight an Aphelios who still has his ult. As Charm comes out, but not much follow up there.
Yeah, like you said, the game is slipping even more out of UFT's hands. What do you think is their comeback mechanic in this game? As I do personally believe that they get outscaled.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like even though they are behind, they still have avenues to come back in. You gotta. Oh, this is not the avenue though. Get out of here. Yeah.
Blue 12 caught in the jungle pit, trying to clear out some vision, but he's just going to be able to jump over that wall. But like you said, huge Aphelios means that this dragon should go uncontested to the side of Warriors.
Yep, pretty free dragon for them. As this, I like that UFT is giving this because they don't have the spikes. They shouldn't be looking for it just yet. But it's at least like when they do. Oh, he's going for kills.
Gale Force in from Last Dance. He's going to cleanse off the Varus R. Can he trade the damage? Like, he has no flash, but he's just in there. He gets the Lulu R overgrowth. He's absolutely massive, just walking forward. Takes out Huing. Ultan's going to come in with the ultimate.
Wukong's coming.
Like, the flash is a Felix. Sejuani's going to miss ult. Ultan's actually going to be able to take down Last Dance DF. That's a kill towards the Wukong. He's going to scamper out. But Rakan might not be as lucky. He actually is. Manages to live. And in the end, it's a 1-for-1, actually, which is in the favor of UFT getting that shutdown on the Aphelios.
Yeah, but Victor's
Oh!
here. Nope, it's a 2-for-1, and they get the turret. So really good proactive play coming from the Victor, and we see Ari going top. They need to make something happen here.
Yeah, and Exhaustive should know that this is happening. It's a low HP 1v1 flashing by Little Frosty. He's gonna hit the charm. Exhaustive still gets the kill on the Gnar. Little Frosty, is he gonna be able to take out Exhaustive? The Ignite is down, but this Aatrox heals so much. Little Frosty has no more ult stacks. His ability's gonna come out. Exhaustive, no!
Oh my
The
god.
1v2 on the Aatrox. It's a double kill in the top side.
Aatrox is the unkillable demon king here, as Ari wanting to secure the charm hit
Oh no.
actually flashed into Aatrox Q3 there. So Aatrox, after killing one person and hitting that Q3, just gets a massive amount of healing, and at that point, he was already on the Ari in melee range. She can't escape. So the roam doesn't quite work out, as it's just, again, unfortunate for UFT, as Waterloo takes another big lead here.
Yeah, that is just so unlucky. Oltan or Onat, excuse me, on the Victor, making the play bot side, finishing off that kill on the Rakan. Little Frosty tries to answer, just not making it happen. This game is really slipping out of the hands of UFT now with a 4.5k golden, excuse me, for the Warriors at 13.5 minutes.
Yeah, as finally there are some mythic items coming out from the side of UFT, Sunder, Rod of Ages, things like that, and I think they still need to look for something. You know, you can't just sit around and wait for scaling or anything. They have a lot of engage potential with Varus, Rakan, Wukong, and Ari. Like everywhere you look, so they need to try and find some fights with advantages. But Waterloo's just ahead of them in the tempo of the game. You see Victor getting roams as the Aphelios slots into mid lane, and yeah, they're just going together, getting wards in the enemy jungler, and on the enemy jungler, sorry, and just making sure that they can't get caught out anywhere.
Oh, Huing's gonna
Oh,
go
I
in with the
cursed
engage
it.
on the Rakan, lands a knock on Last Dance, but there's no damage to follow up. He's gonna get the overgrowth. Huing barely lives. Can only Ultan finish off Last Dance? The Q's gonna come out. Oh, just
Oh my
barely.
god.
Cannot finish off Last Dance. He's gonna live and take down Ultan. In the meantime, Blues and Huing both managed to get out. That looked good for the start, but there's just not enough damage to take out this Aphelios through the Lulu.
Yeah, the Aphelios is just barely too strong as he lives on 1 HP. I actually thought he was going to go down to the Nimbus Strike from the Wukong, but not quite enough damage there as they're not able to kill that Aphelios and end up going down.
Yeah, just the slightest of I guess lack of damage, slightest lack of damage there. Blue 612 when he went in, he did I guess stopwatch a bit early. Maybe if he got one more auto off there, would have made the difference. But as Rakan, you can't expect that to be the case. Oh, we have a TP on Onat. He's trying to take out
This could
Fortune
be
in
a
the
kill.
1v1, and he's going to manage it. But Little Frosty is going to should trade it back here with the TP behind him. He actually missed everything. He has no more. I believe he has one more. Also, Legans is here to cover. Onat's gonna live. Legans, can he trade the kill into Little Frosty? Little Frosty still has his one last ult which he will use to get out. But again, another one for nothing for Warriors. How does this happen? Once again, Slips sneaking out with 0 HP.
Yeah, and the movement from the Victor there was just beautiful. He's dodging the charm, he dodges the second part of the Q, and he's just able to walk it out as Ari, she needs to hit those spells. That's why you see her paired up with like point and click CC like a Vi or a Nautilus sometimes. But because
Mm-hmm.
she's not able to land it, the Victor just walks out after killing one. And yeah, it's just another Herald going down to UW here.
Yeah, this will be the second Herald to the side of Warriors. And again, that Ari build with the row, I believe it only had 2 stacks when she made that play. There's just no damage. Even a Luden's Ari, as long as you hit your W's, to be honest, which you can't miss, it would have maybe been the kill over. But no, just not enough.
Yeah, and the pace of Waterloo in this game, they're getting every objective as it spawns. They're ready. They're taking their backs after the Herald. They've got it to pressure this next dragon, and they're just so ready. The Victor's TP's coming up so he can stay top, while the rest of this team moves down, and they're just pushing the pace. The late game scaling, who cares? We're just gonna kill them all anyway.
Kill them all anyways might be the Warriors' motto, and really flexing how their average win time is so fast. Just taking absolute control of the game, not letting go of the gas. This third dragon spawning in 10 seconds, it will be the Ocean Soul and Ocean Map, which spells even more disaster for UofT, meaning there's more bushes to clear and less vision. Oh, and Exhaust is going in for the 1v2. This is a mini Gnar. Exhaust actually flashes out early, not wanting to take the extended trade against the Wukong, even though I think he was stronger in that scenario.
Yeah,
That said,
and
Warriors
they
are right
do
under
get
the
the
dragon.
flash, but with the Wukong ult gone now, they're going to be conceding this next dragon as well. I want to see them try and make another play onto maybe the Victor in the top lane or anything. You know, they've got to look for some angles, or this game just continues to slip away from them.
Yep, that's gonna be soul point for the Warriors. Like you said, making a play, that is what they tried to do on Inexhaustive, although that is an Aatrox with flash up. Maybe they were hoping to kill him quickly and then rotate onto the dragon, but it's just not working out. Yeah, like you said, that Victor is flashless, so I would also like to see them trying to make a play on him.
But yeah, you see, like, they're a death ball now. Sejuani Lulu staying with his Aphelios. Aphelios has red-white. You do not want to fight him right now, as
And Old 10
they're going to
does
go pick
that.
fights.
Yeah, I see you're familiar with your Philios tech. Colors are just colors to me. Oh, Blue Soul's
Oh,
looking for the engage. He's got ult and flash, and he gets a knock him on the. Last time has cleanse and flash. He's gonna get out. Sejuani ult's gonna come out. The TP's gonna come in from an exhaustive. This fight just looks absolutely losing. Hui tried to flash over the wall for the kill, but it's just not even close to enough. Onat's Oltan stuck over the wall now. Blue gets exploded by Onat, and Oltan being chased now is gonna go down to Legans. There's just nothing on the side of UFT. Warriors running them over.
yeah, I appreciate the look, but that was just not it. The Wukong ult's not back. The Rakan misses the W and he goes, that Nar's dead. Yeah. This is a bit of a stomp going out in game one as Waterloo is just, they're all together in the jungle. They've got the vision there, right? But Rakan tries to look for an engage, but his team wasn't quite on the same page. Not everyone went in together, so they're not able to kill that Aphelios. And The Aphelios, he could have had better guns there. Like he had red white, he switched to green white. Like he was chilling. He wasn't even close to dying there, as he just eviscerates everyone coming near him.
Yeah, like I said right before the fight broke out, the Filios guns are just colors to me, but you know what you're talking about, knowing that UFT maybe not recognizing that those guns were just super strong for Aphelios, and he had cleanse and flash up. There's just no way they get that kill with a botched engage. Um, and yeah,
Yeah, but at least they do
inexhausted.
get those sums, right? Like they
Mhm.
this is something to tackle in their next fight that's not going to be up for the next dragon, and next dragon is soul. Like they're going to have to try and fight it. Even that it is ocean soul, so it's not the biggest point, but it's at least a one opportunity for them to try and get something back, as it's looking pretty grim at this point as they're approaching a 10k gold lead.
If you were on the side of UFT, would you start discussing the next game, or do you think that there is still copium to be had here?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much of a chance here. UW doesn't look like a team that's gonna be throwing their leads with the way they've been performing this season, as their quality is just great. They're not making any bad plays or any over aggressive ones, and even if they do, the Aatrox recognizes the jungler was there in that bot plane and instantly flashes out, right? So keeping that risk averse style, playing very standard, but also pushing their leads, right? You see the Sejuani here, she's really tanky and knows she can't be taken down, so she went for that. But I believe Wukong still gets that, so good for him.
Yeah, I'm celebrating the small victories, but yeah, Warriors just inside of it. Oh, and the Blues gonna look for the engage again onto the Aphelios, but he's just gonna get stunned up and taken down. Last Dance just walking forward underneath the turret, takes down the Varus as well. Just another engage attempt by Blue on the Recon. It's just there's just nothing
Yeah.
there.
It just looks like they're not on the same page. You've got two people on the side lanes, and there's literally more people of Waterloo there compared to UFT. So that wasn't quite the angle to go in, as Aphelios wasn't even close to dying there again. As Sejuani, she was in the vicinity as soon as the Rakan engaged in, dashes in, ults, and peels for it, right? That's what you want to see from this build. She's got a redemption. She's got Radiant Virtue. She's making sure she keeps this team alive.
Yeah, we were talking about UFT playing through Huing, but right now we see Warriors just playing through Last Dance. All these defensive items coming out, just keeping him alive and protecting him. Um, yeah, frankly, like you said, just not on the same page on the side of UFT, even though that was a sumless Aphelios.
Yeah, and I'm personally a really big fan of this build coming from the Sejuani. It's not something you usually see, but she understands the role of team, right? No one's going to try and kill her. Like if you're spending your damage on the Sejuani, you've lost the fight already. It's all about keeping the carries alive, right? And that's what she's trying to do with Radiant Virtue and the Redemption, right? She's making sure her team stays alive and she's making space for them in these fights. And because of that, like they're able to win every fight, and it's not like she's gonna die either. She's too tanky at this point.
Yeah, if she's not gonna die, no one on her team is gonna die. Warriors just staying alive to every fight. Ulten not looking for much. That was the Baron over to Warriors, and they're gonna be looking for a
Mhm.
push here. Little Frosty stuck at her turret. Glacial Prism's gonna miss from Legans. Can there any follow up? No, just gonna take the turret for free. But oh, I guess they don't have the damage for the turret just yet as UFT rotates forward down. They just let the cannon minion shoot at it a couple more times.
Yeah, and
Inexhaustive
pretty
solo
hard for
kill
them
is
to reach that
fortunate
cannon
again.
minion. I think it's just a Varus Q, but that you'll need quite a few of those.
Yep, on hit Varus doesn't really have that damage. They don't have wave clear. Inexhausted just pushing for free now in the top lane. Legans, Glacial Prison on Sejuani half cooldown now, but I just don't see any way they can defend this regardless onto the inhib turret for Warriors.
Yeah, and with Nara just dying in the top lane there, there's really not
Oh,
much you can do.
engage on a Legans, but like we said, that's the tank. He's super tanky and he has flash. He's gonna get out. Inexhausted is gonna channel the TP though, but no kill's gonna go on the redemption from the
The
Sejuani. Can heal him
redemption.
back up. This Sejuani, a lot of damage actually came down on her, but just not enough able to flash out. About half HP now. They're gonna take the bot inhib and back off towards the Dragon Soul, or
Yeah,
not.
again, methodical play. I mean, here they're not going to try and go for too much. They're rotating top to get this top lane tower.
Yeah, this might be
As
the
an
chance. Blueto's gonna
engage,
flash in, but Phyllis will flash back up. He's gonna get back out. Bluetooth just goes down
oh,
instantly on the Recon. Ult10 clones out on Wukong. He's able to get out, but another engage by the Recon, not going the way of UFT. Last Dance forced to burn the flash, but does live. They're gonna push for the top end of now.
yeah, it was just Rakan going in. Now it just
Oh.
seems very like singular engages. They're not going in as a team, as it's really easy. Aphelios just face tanks and continues to deal damage to them. Same with the
Yeah,
Victor.
there's actually a good charm on Phelios there, but he has cleanse, so he instantly cleansed out of that. Top in him goes down, but in the end, still favoring Warriors, even though there was some I guess, good summoner burns on their side of UFT.
Yeah, a clean game so far. They take their wins, they back off, spend their gold as they go to pick up the Ocean Soul here. We'll see. Is UofT going to contest it? I feel like they almost have to. They have to hope for a miracle right now as they walk in. Some of their ults are actually still not up, but the Wukong one is almost there. I want to see like Varus, Rakan, Wukong ults being used together, not one by one or anything like
Hmm.
that, as they need to try and pick up something.
Yep, Flashless Aphelios. We'll see if they can make it happen. This is gonna be a do or die, or they're just gonna give it up. It looks like they're trying to hold base defense against Ocean Soul and against the Death Ball of Warriors. I guess I respect the attempt. Even stealing the dragon would not be that massive for them, as it's only their first. But we'll see if they can do anything as Warriors start to look for the end game push down mid.
Yeah, Ocean Soul isn't the strongest one, so they prefer to fight in their own base, it seems like.
Hmm.
So they're gonna try and get a better angle. I at least wanted to see like some wards for some flanks or someone getting in behind. Try and look for a different angle as
Oh,
Avaris is
the
ulting.
Glacial Prison's gonna land onto Hui. He's gonna flash out, but just not enough. He's gonna take it down by Inexhaust underneath both Nexus turrets. This might be the end of the game as Warriors just pushing in. There's no ADC on the side of UFT. Is there any engagement behind? No, without the Cyclotron Glacial Prison, there's not actually a lot that they can do to get onto them. But they're gonna look for the Nexus push anyways, even without Baron minions. Looks like they're choosing to back off as that wave just gets obliterated instantly.
Yeah, just waiting for that next wave, just chilling as it's a do or die time for UFT here. The Varus is up in 12. I'm thinking they maybe they try and wait for him and then go for one last try with the Rakan and Wukong ults.
And exhausted does huge little
Oh my
frost. He takes
god.
so much damage from the affiliates. He's not gonna go down though. Mininar's caught from Fortunate. Is he gonna be able to scamper out? He will. But Warriors are just onto the Nexus turns. Ultan goes in for the engage. Only lands onto Exhaustive. Inexhaustive, excuse me. Fortunate is stuck on the side. He's gonna get flashed on by Onad. Not gonna go down. Huing ties again instantly from Last Dance DF. And Warriors just gonna take this game cleanly.
Yeah, game one going to the Warriors in 25 minutes as a convincing win. That's one kill on the failures that UFT had all game. As it's just so clean from Waterloo in game one, as they're showing a strong precedence coming into the series.
Absolute statement game from them. Just wasn't even close at any time in the game, honestly. And yeah, huge win for them. They got the momentum going in this series, and they'll be going up 1-0 in the best of five.
Yeah, and for UFT, you just gotta shake that off, shake off the jitters, forget the game ever happened, and just roll it back. Try and take one game at a time here, as that's not a game that you want to try following up in the same way. I want to see them try and change something up, see what they can do against this Waterloo side.
Yep, I will see what they can change up in the draft. Or also to mention, going into this game, we thought it would be Snow 2 coming out as a support for UFT. They actually did pull in their sub, which was Blue 612 on that Rakan. Um, Not to say his engages were bad, but like we said, they weren't really on the same page there. So for whatever reason, Snow 2 not playing, UFT does look a bit disjointed to that end.
Yeah, the Rakan engages weren't the best in terms of uniformity with the rest of the team there, but there were a lot of other problems. Like I don't want to see Victor given again. Like that man was playing Victor like an early like a pantheon in the mid lane, just continuously trading, continuously pushing, and not letting the enemy breathe. But yeah, you could say that for the bot lane as well, using a scaling lane like Aphelios Lulu, but still having things like the range on the Aphelios gun and the range to melee matchup in the support, they really push their limits and continue to get prio in the lane so that they can get these early objectives.
Absolutely. And in order to counteract that, what do you think UFT might do? Because, like we said, they did pick that Varus Rakan, which was would have thought would be stronger in lane, but clearly it wasn't. So do you think they commit even harder to scaling themselves, or maybe try to pick more of a strong duo like maybe Lucian Nami to try to win out the lane outright?
Yeah, Lucianami has taken some nerves. It's not in the best spot, but they can still try and look like the Rakan isn't a bad pick per se. But if you're just leaving them isolated in a lane getting pushed in, it's not going to do well, right? What I do want to see is more proactivity from the jungle. The Wukong didn't have that many ganks or like successful ganks in general, as it's a bit harder for Wukong to gank compared to a Sejuani. Like the
Hmm.
Sejuani just walked at the Gnar and just had so much CC with the Aatrox that you just get the kill, right? Maybe try and get something that's more gank focused. Like you saw
Hmm.
Waterloo is pushing everywhere. Even though the Aatrox was down CS, he was getting pushed most of the time, right? So you can still try and punish those avenues by trying to get a lot of jungle attention in one of these lanes to try and get some of your carries ahead.
And as we saw in that draft, UFT was the one that banned out most of the junglers. So they really thought that picking this Wukong that they would have the advantage there and taking those champs away from Ligans rather than have them for themselves. Didn't work out, but I did want to mention Wukong was their team's one kill, so maybe they are um, maybe that jungler can be that bright spot for them, like you said, and hopefully try to carry the next game.
Yeah, some of those meta picks, like the Maokai, I believe was banned.
Yeah,
Not sure if the Vi was, but she's a
Vi
very
was bad.
easy,
Yeah.
yeah, just point and click, engage, things like that, right? So try and make the execution a bit easier, and just try and be more proactive in the early game. As you got to give props to Legans, like he played his part perfectly and had amazing ganks and was able to just get his entire team ahead while completing all the objectives.
For sure. And one thing that we just actually found out that like just backtracking a bit here, but Snow 2 should be coming in for the rest of the series. I believe Blue was only a temporary sub for game 1, so opening up again that champion pool for the support. Hopefully we'll find them more strengths in the bot side.
Yeah, and from what I've seen, Snow 2 has a champion ocean, so you should see a different mindset, a shift coming in from UFT, and hopefully they can just shake off that game one and still play strong in the next game.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they approach it. Hopefully, we'll be getting into game two not too shortly. But yeah, just in the meantime, we want to thank everyone that is tuning in, and also to thank our sponsor Shopify Rebellion for supporting us and making these streams like this possible.
Yeah, they've made all of this possible, so huge shout out to them as they've been just been a great sponsor for us so far. And yeah, this series, it's looking exciting. That game one, I feel like it's not representative of what UFT has to show. They're a really strong team, and I want to see them try and show it in game two.
Yeah, as much as we are homers for Waterloo, a 3-0 stomp would not be fun for anyone involved. So honestly, yeah, UFT can hopefully bounce back, find a win, make this series a bit spicy, and then we'll have a very exciting battle for who gets to go to CLol Nationals.
All right, cool. And with that, just before we hop into game two, we'll be right back after a short break. See you soon. Hello, everyone. We are back after our break after a really decisive game one from UW. And yeah, their normal support's going to be coming in for game two. So we're going to have to see how UFT is going to roll it back, just get a fresh mindset, and try and challenge again in the next game coming up. Yeah, and speaking about the last game, I don't want to see that Victor being given over. That man was he was a monster in that. Like I'm pretty sure that's not how that matchup's supposed to go from the many times I've seen it. But yeah, he looked just so comfortable on it. I want to see either like maybe they've got a counter, but maybe just ban it off. So we'll have to see.
And yep, sorry, I believe I was muted just now, but yeah, like you said, great points there. We'll see how that goes out. And yeah, that Victor on Onat just massive. There's a lot of bans that I think I would throw out after that game, so we'll see how they adjust the draft accordingly. But yeah, a spicy game two ahead of us, hopefully.
Yeah, and I think they had done like all three jungler bans, right? And they picked up an ADC. Um, but they did ban out some of those point and click junglers that we've talking about, like the Vi and the Maokai. If they are looking to like try and first pick one of those and ban out the Victor instead, that could maybe be an angle for them to approach this like heavy pushing play style that Waterloo
Hmm.
has.
Yeah, heavy pushing, I think, is a really good word to describe it. Waterloo just does not let up on that pressure whatsoever. Looking like those, like that was another fast game win, a bit slower than their average win time of 23 minutes, but still super fast. So we're gonna be jumping into the second draft. It's 1-0 for Warriors already in this series.
Yeah, and UFT have taken blue side again. We'll see if any of these bans do end up changing, but it is two of them coming down. The Maokai was banned second last time, so we'll see if something changes here.
Yeah, this is looking like slight deja vu. Like you said, at least in second instead of Maokai. Again, the Jace ban is going to be hitting on Fortunate. So Fortunate is really strong on the Jace and definitely a champion that I don't think Warriors will ever let him have in this series. Him on the Gnar was not the greatest. Granted, he was put behind early, but he did get sort of dominated by Inexhaustive later on.
Yeah, and it looks like the same band's coming out, but they're saying we want the Aphelios this time. And yeah, we'll see. Are they gonna go with the Ari early again as no Aphelios? It's anytime maybe. I'd love to see. I think she's in a great spot right now.
Yeah, Annie, a very strong pick, even though having been nerfed from the peak of her strength, she is still a very good pick. Arguably also a flex pick, more common as support for sure, but we have seen Annie mid in some cases. And yeah, like you said, UFT taking that Aphelios, them trying to take over that champion, which at Last Dance piloted to perfection last game.
Yeah, and Aphelios, I don't believe we've actually seen them play it that many times. They've mainly been sticking to like the Zeri and the Zaya, but haven't seen Aphelios game. It is a pretty difficult champion to pilot, so we'll see how it does end up happening as the Viego from Waterloo.
Yeah, Viego, I guess a fairly comfort pick for Legend is not a champion he's unfamiliar with by any means. Like you said, that Aphelios for Hooing, maybe not the most common pick for him, but granted, it is still a hyper carry, which Hooing is known for. He is still going to be able to pilot it pretty well, I would imagine. And again, the Wukong for UFT.
Yeah, and the Wukong, it didn't look amazing, I'm not gonna lie. Like I know the Wukong can get more proactive. I want to see it happen, especially after you get that six. Like they need to make something happen with that first ultimate. And it's the Nautilus, not something like a Lulu to keep the Aphelios alive. They've got some more engage coming in.
Yeah, level 6 is going to be awfully scary for the side of Warriors in that bot side. Nautilus ulti plus the Wukong follow up. If that gets chained onto you and the Aphelios gets rolling, it's going to be very good for UFT. So I do like a more proactive pick. Like we said, this is Snow 2 subbing in now over Blue last game. So his champion motion is going to be able to make this Nautilus pick work, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and Waterloo, they saw that Cassante was banned second phase last time, right? So they get it R3 now, and they're going to ban away some top laners. So really good on them to be flexible in the draft and try and pick up on that.
Yeah, awesome to see from them. That Orn band is also targeted towards Fortune and one of his other two, I guess, sort of signature picks alongside the Jace and the Jax band once again. Yeah, from the side of UFT, last time they did blind that Ari in round one, and this time opting instead for the Nautilus, which I do like to see that Ari did kind of get bullied in lane by the Victor. That said, Victor is once again open. We'll see if Warriors actually decides to blind that, knowing that Little Frost himself plays Victor as well.
Yeah, I'd love to see it being picked up again, but they're gonna pick up the Jinx. Zaya and Zeri are gone. Jinx is the next one in line, right? But from what I know, Jinx isn't quite as good. She still can pop off in those team fights, but isn't quite on the level of the Zeri or the Zaya. But this is what they're gonna be going with, and we'll have to see if this Annie's actually mid or support, right? It is a
That's
flex, and
true.
I like them holding it until the last opportunity where they can see who this mid laner is and see what they want into it.
Yeah, like you said, that Jinx pick still a hyper carry, so they're handshaking the hyper carry matchups again, but dependent on getting a takedown in those team fights so she can get excited, which champion like Zeri don't need, who can just start off very strong off the gate. But yeah, Warriors, I guess saving that probably I would say mid counter pick for last. Onat's champion pool is also very large, so whatever UFT decides to pull out, I imagine Onat would have an answer. And yeah, Callum has played Annie, so I would guess it's Annie support.
Oh, is it gonna be the Twisted Fate? He's played it before. He plays it a lot in solo queue from what I've seen, and it's gonna be a TF mid lane. I mean, now I haven't seen this character in a long time.
Yeah, TF has fallen out of meta in recent, I guess, since the start of the season and patches before that as well. He's used to be, I guess, the go-to competitive mid laner, having huge roam potential, but just fell out of favor. So I will see if
Oh, I
Frosty can
love the
pilot
Silas here.
this. Yeah,
Yeah,
Silas
Silas is like, you're
open.
gonna roam, I'll roam too, you know? So, and it's just really good against the TF in lane two. When we did see the TF few years ago, is really prevalent in the pro meta in Worlds when I believe when Damwon won, that Silas
Yeah.
was a really good counter into the TF. But yeah, we'll see how this matchup goes. It's gonna be a really different side coming from Waterloo, even though they had such a decisive win. So they're looking to experiment, they're showing what all they've got, and it's not just this one dimensional team.
Yeah, very exciting to see. I think every single player is actually on a different champion, except for Ultan on the Wukong jungle. Otherwise, all the other players playing something different from game one. So that would be very spicy. And the thing we didn't talk about yet was just fortunate locking in that Fiora.
Yeah, Fiora always a spicy pick. It's a lot of outplay potential coming in because Casante's got a lot of displacements in his kit. So if you can read those times right and get those riposts, then you'll be destroying him in lane, or vice versa if he's got the timings. But yeah, like Fortunate has been really good for them in the past. Even in this game, he had a pretty good CS lead before he got ganked. So we'll see if he can make it happen again, and if there's a bit more jungle attention to help him out, right? So and what again, I'm really stressing that the jungler's got to be proactive and got to match Legance because he was running over that early game.
Yeah, he's picking Viego here, even though Sejuani was open, the champion that he dominated with last game. So it is definitely, I think, on the side of Warriors, a team that's dependent on resets. Honestly, Viego needs resets and Jinx both needs resets. So it is a fairly different playstyle coming out from their team comp. And again, with that Fiora Casante matchup, um, yeah, very excited to see how that goes down.
Yeah, and whenever you're looking at a character like Viego, right, he relies on these resets. And we've got a lot of CC coming. Annie is just really easy to point and click or just get a flash tippers and try and get onto one person, which can be a good reset to get that fight started. And as you said, with the Jinx, if they can get that first kill, it's pretty good guarantee that they can win the rest of the team fight.
And in those team fights, I guess, like you said, the Annie can be the one to engage. Alternatively, it will be UFT with the Nautilus hooking in. If they can just blow up that Nautilus instantly before the follow up comes out, that would just be a huge victory for Warriors.
Mhm.
On the side of Warriors, they're arguably only Jinx is able to be hooked and caught out very easily. Viego can easily get out with his Heartbreaker. Annie can just turn the fight, to be honest, and Cassante is just a tanky boy. So we'll have to see how this Nautilus can hopefully dominate the lane in order to be more useful later on.
Yeah, and as a Viego player myself, I just had to highlight when there's a Nautilus on the enemy team, I love it. He's just the best reset to have. Like I'm completely okay with Nautilus is engaging, just use everything on him, and it's just so good for the rest of the fight, right? So I don't want to see Nautilus going in just by himself. You got Wukong to dive with, TF to try and flank with his ultis to start the fights. But yeah, it's just gonna be like they have to find some creative angles, right? If you're gonna
Mhm.
just do a front to back fight, it's not gonna look the best in my opinion, as like the amount of front line that Cassante brings in a team fight and the disruption that he has. Fiora isn't gonna be able to quite match that. She's more of a
Right.
split pusher. So we'll have to see how these team fights go, or if Fiora can gain that advantage on the side lane and become a menace that we've known her to be.
Yeah, I think Fiora is definitely going to have to try to get an advantage as we jump into game. For Fiora, not a strong team fighter, not going to be able to offer much utility aside from just damage for this Aphelios, who I think UFT really needs to play around if they want to be able to win team fights. And yeah, we're getting onto the Rift.
Yeah, everything pretty standard here coming out. We've got both teams just doing a default, not going for any sneaky invades. I thought we'd see something coming from UFT as you've got Nautilus with two forms of CC level 1, but they're just going to be looking to just chill. Nautilus and Aphelios here in this bush, seeing if they can catch Jinx and Annie coming in from a leash or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be finding much, just hovering there in case something does happen. But yeah, one interesting thing I did want to touch on is Little Frosty with that Comet this game. Hopefully looking for some poke on Silas, I'd imagine. But before when Twist of Fate was more popular, he actually did go Spellbook like he did last game on Ari.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the Comet. TF really wanting to win out on the lane this time as Silas is looking for him. There's no way he's going, right?
Well, Onan is trying to flex his muscles, gets a ward down on the Raptors, forcing Little Frosty back.
Yeah, we saw the Raptors were coming last game too. It's really good for seeing the jungle in the middle of their pathing, and if the jungler is proactive, they can see that you can see how much CS they have and which side of the jungler they're going to be going through. So really good ward that we've seen UW do multiple times now. And yeah, because of that, just like last game, maybe they'll keep track of the jungler and be able to not give good opportunities to gank.
Yeah, that's going to be the name of the game, just avoiding those ganks if possible and trying to scale. Wukong did start topside, so he's going to be pathing towards this Aphelios Nautilus, which makes sense. And Exhaustive having some pressure level 1 against this Fiora.
Yeah, Fiora's still pretty
Oh,
weak early as, ooh, fighting going on.
we have a
Nothing
small
should happen
skirmish
though.
bot. Warriors actually burned Ghost on the Jinx and heal on the Annie, so it's going to be an early victory over the UFT who burned nothing for that. We didn't see what happened, but it was likely a level 1 hook that landed.
Yeah, and Aphelios got his red gun, so he should be able to heal right back up. This is really good for Hooing.
Yeah, skirmishes all over the map. Ona went in there after getting poked out by the Twisted Fate. We have the constant skirmish topside as both, I guess, fairly tanky people just farm grasp on each other. And yeah, bot lane, like we said, or like we just saw, rather, was a small skirmish, but nothing too huge is going to come out. Legans is now bot side after starting Raptors. Wukong is also bot side. Legans going for a
Ooh,
deep
he's
ward,
going
maybe, or
for the
actually trying.
invade.
Oh, he's going to find Old Tan here. Old Tan's half HP, but he's going to
Oh, he
not.
didn't finish it?
Wait.
Oh,
Okay,
he did in the end, yeah.
okay, okay. Oh, Old Tan barely getting away there with the red buff. He's gonna find the Legans. They're gonna be fighting each other. Legans put the W down. He's gonna land the stun. Old Tan is gonna have to W over the wall. Legans falls with the flash. Old Tan flashes himself. Can he get away? He's very low HP. Legans forced to back up because Hooing is rotating over now. Old Tan very barely sneaking out there with both the red and his life.
Yeah, Viego asserting his dominance, gonna chase the monkey out of the jungle and take his chickens. So yeah, he's gonna be able to see that. We'll see if he ends up going for the Krugs as well, or if just he's gonna fall back to that Scuttle Crab. But yeah, I like them asserting their dominance. Silas is getting pushed, his ball lane's getting pushed, and it's that same play style, right? Get the push and try and invade the jungle, get objectives, and play for a strong early game, regardless of your characters.
Yeah, but again, strong early game is the case for Warriors winning across the map again. Huge CS lane and CS lead in both top and mid. Bot lane not looks pretty even despite that early trade of summoners. There's no real pressure coming out from UFT following up. And yeah, oh, there's actually Hook's gonna land onto Callum Coy. He's gonna be getting out. He still has flash. They're just gonna walk away. And the Oltan's here for the follow. He emotes for fun. Can he get a Nimbus strike? Last dance actually forced flash
Huh.
off of Hooing's Q. I believe he would have been Gravitum stunned if I understand Aphelios correctly.
Yeah, and he ends up flashing out of respect there, but that Wukong without the flash that Viego forced out earlier means that Jinx and Annie are just gonna be fine and are gonna be continued exerting that pressure.
Yep, just a flash burn. Legans is there to cover now in case there was a regank. But without much HP on Snow 2, I can't imagine that happening. Oh, actually, they're fishing for Snow 2 goes in for the hook on a Callum. Callum still has flash. He has the shield up. Hooing is forced to flash back now. Snow is caught out, and he's going to be taken down for first blood here. Who's going to get it? Hopefully give it over to
Yeah, they
Last
should give it to
Dance.
the Jinx.
And that will be first blood for Last Dance off another botched engage by the support of UFT.
Yeah, Legans with the perfect timing there, popping his E as the Nautilus goes in, and even though the Nautilus flashes out right after, it's too little too late as they pick up first blood.
Yeah, even without Legans there, I'm not sure if that looked good. He was engaging half HP while Callum still had flash. Maybe he was hoping that hook would hit onto Last Dance instead, but it's not quite there. And
Yeah, as
once
this
again,
top
yeah.
lane matchup is looking really close. I want to see the junglers coming up here because Fiora's just running Ghost and no flash, so much easier to look on her. And like Oh, Nala's
Oh,
going in.
Hex Flash over by Nautilus. He's gonna land the hook on Onat. Onat has flash. He's gonna flash up, but can he get away? Ultan has no flash. He's gonna get stunned up by the gold card and taken down. That's a trade kill over onto Ultan on the Wukong. But Leganza's top to try to make the counterplay. Fortunate manages the dash out.
Yeah, Fiora ghosting early means she can get out as Annie probably just trying to pick up the CS here as really proactive play from the Nautilus there, getting that mid roam and hex flashing over the wall. I love that summoner. And just getting the kill as they collapse on the Silas. The TF channel time just a bit too long of the ult. Can't get out of there that easily. But yeah, he blows the flash and ends up
They're
going
looking for
down
a
as
dive on a
another
Last Dance,
dive.
and Nautilus was going to come out. Last Dance has nothing. Can he trade the kill, though? Snow2 tanking is going to go down and gives up. But that is a trade of kills. It's going to be good for the side of UFT as Last Dance loses over a wave.
Yeah, minions lost as the trade going out there. The Annie trying to make a roam to follow the Nautilus, but the Nautilus is you see the difference between Snow and the sub support there. This Nautilus is roaming around trying to make kills happen, being impactful in this game.
Yep, trying to make things happen all over. Once again, back to the top skirmish. Inexhaust is actually going to go all out, but Fortune's going to trade with the ultimate. Only pops through the vitals. He's going to back off now, not willing to take the rest of the fight. Dashing back in. Oh, the TFL's going to come out. He's going to get him behind Inexhaust. Inexhaust still has flash. Gold Card's going to come out. Inexhaust is stunned, but he flashes out. Can you trade? No, that Cassandra just dashes out. Inexhaust, Little Frosty. No, nothing more.
Yeah, he was going all out. He's got crazy mobility as he able to use his flash and go right through the TF and gets to the safety of his tower. But it is rediveable. I think the TF's coming back. The Wukong's following too. This could get spicy.
Yeah, this is a flashless Cassandra stuck under her. A huge wave from both sides. The stun's gonna come out on the exhausted, but Fortune's tanking. He's
That's
gonna
a
get the
trade.
kill, but also go down. Onat's here now for the follow, but Oltan is also there to cover. There's gonna be nothing more had, but at least Salas can pick up this wave.
Yeah, Silas picks up the wave and Viego picks up the dragon. Seeing that the jungler's topside means this is just free for him as Waterloo get another early dragon for themselves.
Yep, awesome trade back by Legans, knowing that his bot lane's also pushed in. There's no contest to be had. And overall, I would think that favors Warriors, even though Inexhaustive does lose that wave. Onat was there to pick it up. That dragon is picked up as well. And yeah, good, I guess, swing back, even though the Cassante got dove. Oh, Legans is
Oh,
gone
he's
now.
gonna get spotted here.
So he tries to Hex Flash over the hole. He's gonna get canceled though. He has no regular flash like hands. Is there anything to had? Oh, Last Dance hits the ult. It's gonna be a kill. Flash over from the Viego with the Nautilus body. He's gonna hook onto Huing. Huing gonna be able to walk out though, just barely, even though he doesn't have flash up. Legans walking away now as Nautilus slash Viego. And then, like you said, that's the Viego taking the Nautilus body right there.
Yeah, Viego was, I'm pretty sure, like 1 or 2 minions off 6 there. If he had ult there, the Aphelios was surely dead. But didn't quite have it, and it's just only the Nautilus dying. But it means that Aphelios is going to be losing a few minions there as it evens up the CS between them.
Yeah, good play by Legan, just hovering bot again, even after taking the dragon. And Last Dance, very fortunate to pick up the kill with his ulti. That's a good gold swing to him, and he's now 3-1.
Yeah, and oh, Null is coming mid again. I think he just wants some cannons. He just wants some gold for himself.
Yeah, get
Yeah,
some gold for
ADCs and
himself.
bot, gotta get your gold somewhere, right?
Yeah, help push the wave. It maybe exert some pressure on Onat, let Onat know that he's not alone. Alone with Little Frosty. Top lane, I feel like we've seen this one before. Just trading back. No real advantage in the 1v1 here.
Yeah, and Kasane going Bramble here means that Fiora, it's gonna be a while before she starts winning out on these trades. But Casante has pretty much even CS lead, but give it like 2 items and it's gonna be a lot scarier for him in this lane. But just looking across the board here, right? Like Onat is a menace. He's got another huge CS lead, and he pushes in the wave and is just hovering so that they can get this Herald.
Yeah, Oltan knows Onat is sitting there, but he's honestly just there to cover the Herald that Legans has started soloing. Oh, he's
Oh,
actually
he's
going to go
going
in on
in?
Onat. This is a level 6 Wukong onto the level 8 Silas. Oltan gets a Cyclone 2 and knocks up 2. Little Frosty's there. He's actually going to get the kill onto Onat. Onat had no flash. He's going to grab the Jinx on from downtown hits. They're going to be able to trade the kill back on Oltan with the Wukong. Leganzon takes the body. The ult's going to follow up. Little Frosty, good flash, manages to dodge the Heartbreaker. He's going to walk out. And in the end, I believe that was a 1-for-1, but the Herald will go to the Warriors.
Yeah, 1 for 1, but Casante having the push means he can roam over and make sure the Herald is secured. And yeah, that was a good play. I believe the TF was just a bit late. He had to walk quite a bit before he could land that gold card. The Wukong went in just literally half a second too early, right? The fight might have gone different if they can one-shot one of them before the fight even begins. But unfortunately, not able to do that, and Waterloo do end up coming out on top of that trade.
Yeah, I do respect the play by Old Ten on the Wukong, try to make something happen, and it was not the worst play in the end for them. Obviously not too favorable either, but still a good play. That Jinx ult from bot actually did not land onto Old Ten, so not an assist over to Last Dance either. So not the worst play all said and done.
Yeah, and now we've got the next dragon coming in more bit more than the minute. Cloud Dragon gonna be picked up. The main thing that we're seeing this game is even though the Jinx has quite a few kills, the Aphelios has an edge in this lane, and he's got a bit of a CS lead, has shove, and I want to see them trying to capitalize off that, right? TF is he can match the Sylas in Prio. The Sylas are just playing mega aggressive as
Oh,
they're
we have a
going in on each other.
all out is gonna.
Oh,
Oh, the parry actually comes out, so Inexhaustive goes all out to the wall, but Fiora doesn't fall. Oltan's now here. The TFL is also going to come out, and I believe Inexhaustive is going to go down here, and he will. Oltan picks up that kill. Good, I guess, play from the side of UFT to cover that 1v1.
yeah, Cassante tries to go all out, but the riposte means he was just all out of there, and TF just roams over, picks up the kill with the Wukong, as Wukong's got a serious amount of kills under him now.
Yeah, just like last game, looked like Oltan might be the center of focus for UFT, picking up the kills, getting that gold onto himself, and hopefully becoming a bit of a King Kong out here.
Oh, Salas going top with the stolen ulti.
Oh, great play by Ona with the stolen TF ulti. Yeah, trades the kill into Fortune. Fortune could not have possibly seen that coming. Just trying
Fights
to shove the
continue
wave in.
though. It should be a numbers disadvantage, so they back off. But I like this. The Fiora, she's got to get that wave in, right? It's just
Yeah.
classic. They gotta shove out the wave, but the TF ulti from the Silas. You don't quite have it. If you're facing a TF, you'll expect it, but when you're facing a Silas and you have a TF, it doesn't quite stick in your brain, so he gets caught out there as Silas picks up a kill for himself.
Yeah, maybe not sure if Little Frosty calmed the fact that his ult got stolen, but like you said, he had to push the wave anyways without Tiamat. It's really hard to push it quickly as a Fiora. So unfortunate for him that he does go down for that. TP into mid for TF. We're going to see if there's going to be a fight around this dragon. This might be the first dragon for UFT of the series.
Yeah, it looks like both teams want it, so there's gonna be a scuffle as Waterloo's starting to come in now, as the Cassante actually TP's mid here, so he's gonna be here for this fight.
Yep, Warriors has all 5 down relatively early. Fiora's just pushing top, but she does have TP to come if they want to take the fight. Warriors starts the dragon. Snow 2's hovering bot lane on the Nautilus. He's actually going to get engaged on by the E2 of Silas, but good buffer on his hook means he's going to get out. But this just looks like a free dragon again for Waterloo. Second dragon of the game for them. Fortune is trying to trade back plate stop.
Yeah, so they're basically trading Dragon for a couple plates here, as the Fiora does not end up TPing down. And yeah, it's like big objective pressure because the Cassante isn't someone who needs to be on that side lane, but it's completely understandable for the Fiora to want to get herself ahead and be a threat later on in the game, as here comes Viego.
Oh, good flash by Snow 2. Dodges out on the stun of Tibbers. Callum Coy is looking for more, but there's not much to be had. That would have been
Yeah,
really bad if you let that stun hit, but the Herald's going to come out on a bot now.
yeah, they should be able to get this turret down extremely low, as Tiber's gonna end up dying there, so can't really tank. But Harold's
No.
gonna take away at least like to go down to one plate here. Oh, not even that much. We'll see if they can get it though.
Yeah, this is a nerfed Herald, so it doesn't do nearly as much damage. The last dance with that rocket range is it would have finished it off, get down that second last plate. That's a lot of gold swing off before the plates fall. Ooh, hook
Oof.
from Nautilus just goes wide. I'm not sure if it would have been good even if it hit though.
Wukong was on the way, so it was definitely a good look. And yeah, just not gonna hit there, and they're all gonna end up backing off. But Wukong gonna hover them so that they can get this wave pushed in. They don't want the same thing happening to what happened to Fiora in the top lane. But looks like gonna be another duel.
Speaking of Fear, we have the 1v1 all out's going to come out, but I don't think he wins this one anymore. Fear is so strong with it. Oh, but he's actually going to knock him back into the turret. Next also goes super low. Fortune trying to chase the kill. He's going to get it. Is he going to go down to the turret though? Yes, he will, and it's another 1-for-1 trade in the top lane between these top laners.
Yeah, 1 for 1 in the end, but a few CS lost by the Cassante, so a bit better for the Fiora. And you can see this is that turning point now. Fiora has a Divine Sunder, so from now on these fights are going to be even harder, and Fiora should start coming out on top.
Yep, Fiora the Grand Duelist probably going to start winning those duels. Cassante not a pushover himself as we can see. But yeah, the side lane 1v1 matchup is only going to go further in her favor. That said, the Cassante stacking up that armor. He has the steel caps and the frozen fist now. There's only 1 AP on the side of UFT in a TF. So if Little Frost, or excuse me, if Fortunate can't kill an Exhaustive, I don't think this Cassante is going to die very easily.
Yeah, like it's a TF with Rod of Ages. It's not a lot of damage coming out from the AP side of the team, so he can stack all the armor in the world. And I want to see Viego stack some too. He's gonna come try and pick up the CS. There's no way you can dive him.
Yeah, there's just no damage to be had. They're just gonna hit the turret for fun. Or actually, no, he's gonna try to put some damage onto an exhaustive, and exhaustive shrugs that off completely.
Yeah,
Would
he
have
just make
preferred to
sure to
see.
get that wave so they can't continue getting the turret
Oh, the
as
dive
another
top.
dive.
Fortunate ghosts out. I don't think the stun landed from the Annie there. Oh, but the follow mid. Otan's gonna flash in and land the Cyclone. Oh, Nat's forced to flash out by himself now. He's gonna live just barely. Taken low. Little Frosty doesn't commit flash himself. They probably had no follow up.
Yep, Flash is traded in the mid lane as the top tower ends up going down, and they're looking at this Herald now.
Yeah,
This he's not gonna die, but the turret
they're gonna
will.
trade back the Terror, but Inexhaust is chasing Hui. Hui already used the Moonlight Vigil. Nautilus ult's gonna come out on Inexhaust, but there just is no damage for this guy. Blue and red on the side of Aphelios. Hook's gonna land. Actually, maybe there is. Inexhaust is backing up now. Onat's here to
Here's
cover.
Silas.
Oh, he lands the E2 onto Hui. Hui's forced to flash out. TF ult is coming out now. Where's the TF gonna go? He's not actually gonna follow. They're chasing this flash to Aphelios. Onat's probably gonna have E come up real soon. E into the W, and he's gonna finish off Huing. That's gonna be a kill over to the Silas.
Great roam by Ona as Legans is
Oh,
looking for something. Oh,
Snow 2 lands the hook on a Callum Coin. The wild card's gonna be able to finish him off from the TF, but now we have the fight continues.
he's got the
Reset's
Nautilus.
Nautilus hook gonna come out onto the Wukong, and the Wukong is going to go down. Another kill over to Legans, and a big shutdown for him.
Yeah, big shutdown coming out as just a good roam by Onat to come down to bot lane to save his top laner. Kasante just barely didn't have the ult, so he couldn't quite 1v2 there. I think it was a few seconds away, but Onat comes, bails him out, and runs down that Aphelios.
Yeah, good play. Oh, Legans caught under turret by the gold card. He's gonna have to force the flash out, but Last Man's now chasing. He gets excited off the turret. Little Frosty forced the flash away from the W of the Jinx, and actually, yeah, maybe not expecting that excitement from the Jinx off the turret.
Yeah, it's a game of margins right now as, oh, they're looking to fight again. I don't think Kasante should be looking for these fights as much anymore. But yeah, like as we said, like he's gonna be able to keep stacking up that armor, but the main thing is Fiora just heals so much. Like even though you have that healing reduction, she literally just heals too much that she'll be able to win those duels regardless.
Yeah, that is Fiora for you. She's gonna hopefully try to flex that side lane pressure even more as the Infernal Dragons come up in 25 seconds. This would be the third for Warriors, clearing out the mid wave, trying to get the push as they get the deep vision.
Yeah, and UFT's a bit more prepared for this game, even for the first Dragon they were there, as they're gonna be trying to come in as Waterloo comes in, takes out all the vision around here, and just make sure that they're in control of this river.
Yep, looking for the control here. Doesn't look like anyone's going to go in. Callum Coy does have stun up on that Annie, so he's going to fish for something with the flash. You can definitely look for a multi-man Tibbers. Warriors are going to get onto the dragon. Or is UFT going to respond? They have all five down here. UFT or Warriors actually baiting it, standing around that pixel brush where there's no vision, but they are hitting it on the backside as well. What's
Yeah,
UFT going
there's
to do?
Nautilus ult from both teams to get it started. Dragon's going low. We'll see if
No
Wukong
one's
goes for
making
the
the engage.
clone.
Hook's gonna miss on Inexhaustive, and Red or Warriors are just gonna secure the dragon. Then the fall's gonna come. Onat's gonna land the E2 onto Nautilus. Nautilus forced the flash out, plus the Nautilus ult onto the Nautilus rather. Jinx is gonna finish off the kill with his ult. She's now excited. Can Warriors follow up with any more? Fortune's gonna go in. Actually lands the parry. Good parry. Huge knockup by Wukong with the Cyclone. Inexhaustive's gonna all out with the Wukong. Onat's gonna finish the kill on a Fiora. Can Inexhaustive win the 1v1 against Wukong? Yes, he can.
Jinx is
Very well. Jinx
excited.
is excited. Takes down the failures. And Onat's gonna let E2 again onto Little Frosty. That's gonna be an ace for the side of Warriors. A huge fight for them.
Yeah, it was so close to being so good for UFT as Waterloo actually just bundles up in that alleyway and Wukong gets a great ulti as they kill the Viego, but the damage quite isn't there as Cassandre takes him over the wall and creates some space for this Jinx and Silas to work. And once they got one kill, the reset started happening for the Jinx and the fight was just over.
Yeah, really interesting that after the Nautilus was taken down, UFT still looked for the fight. Fortunate going in with the riposte did land a good stun for that Wukong, but I just don't think that taking the 4v5 there is the correct decision when Jinx is already excited.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like a hard fight, even though they got a good angle. I do understand them trying to get that good angle because it was just a really good ulti from that Wukong coming out, but the damage just wasn't quite there. And yeah, it just the game has been blown open after this right now.
Yep, solo point for Warriors initially from there as well. Baron's going to spawn in just 8 seconds now. So we'll see where Warriors are decide to play to and where UFT can try to fight it back. But I don't see this looking too good for them right now.
Yeah, and like when you're just trying to fight Dragon in the river, right? It's kind of hard for UFT to get the fight started. Like we saw the Dragon going low, but UFT just couldn't really step in. We saw Nautilus hook from far away as
Oh,
and he's
Calm
looking
Koi's
for a
looking.
stun.
Oh? couldn't get vision in that bush, so like, no engage is gonna come out.
Yeah, ships in the night. Nothing ends up happening. Silas actually gets the Zonias now, and that's even more armor for their side as they're basically. Oh,
The top lane 1v1 is coming out. It looks like Inexhaust is actually winning, but the Furo is going to come out. Can Inexhaust finish off before he gets the last parry? Parry's going to come out. He's going to finish it off. Oh my god. Huge flash by Inexhaust. Almost gets him the 1v1, but Fortunate is going to have the damage and finish off Silent, excuse me, Cassante in that 1v1 in bot lane.
yeah, fortunate with a massive outplay, just barely winning that fight. And that's what Fiora's supposed to do, right? As they're looking to push their limits. They've got a
Oh,
5v4. They want to fight.
and
Beautiful
mate,
buffer, though.
yeah, that's that Viego trying. Like we said, that Nautilus not able to find that many hook targets. Viego just gets out of that with that Heartbreaker. Not the longest cooldown either. He also actually burned Nautilus ulti, so in the end, that is a good trade.
Yeah, it was a nice look, trying to get that man advantage to capitalize off of, but Diego ends up going away. But yeah, like this game is still at the point where if UFT can get some nice angles, get fights with man advantages, they can win it, right? And that's exactly what they have to try to do. They've got a 500 gold bounty on this Jinx,
Mm.
450 on the Silas. You pick those up, this game just becomes basically even again. As yeah, they got to try and do something, try and look for those alternate angles, those flanks, right? You've got a Wukong and Fiora, both who can go over walls, right? And
Hmm.
they got to try and do that. You do a front to back, it's going to be really hard to get through like the beefy front line from the Cassante and the Silas with Zonias to stall for time. And you're just not going to win a fight that way. They need to get these good flanks going.
Yeah, flanks are going to be how they win those fights if they even do choose the team fight. And like you said, those big shutdowns are available, and not just that, but the standing gold, as they also have objective shutdowns now. So there are avenues for UFT to get back into this game, as the next dragon, which would be Dragon Soul for Warriors, is up in a minute and 10.
Yeah, and this is gonna be it. Like they're gonna have to do something right here and right now. If they do get this Dragon Soul, I think it'll be too late. The Infernal just gives so much more damage where it
Hmm.
comes to the point where like UFT just cannot match the damage of Waterloo, right? They already have are basically like they have a lot of decent sources of damage, but Aphelios is the main threat. If this Fiora can continue to go big and try and get more of those solo kills, she could be a problem. But in team fights currently, it's not really gonna happen.
Yeah, Aphelios is fortunately at 2 items, so yeah, some good damage coming out of him. He's not the absolute weakest. RFC was built second for TF, so committing to trying to find that catch instead of a straight out team fight, they might actually be pulling the Baron here. UFT's
Yeah,
posturing for this.
Waterloo have complete control of the bottom river, so they're gonna try and drag him out of their comfort zone and see if they can try and get something. But they still got TF in this top side. They still got Fiora in this bot side, though they can't really do anything right now.
Yeah, not sure what too much what the thought process was there. Now the control is going to be given up, like we said already, for bot river. Dragon's up in just 3 seconds. What can UFT do about this? It looks like they might again try to trade the Baron as TF clears out the vision on it. But no, they're just shoving out mid here. They have absolutely no vision. Bottom count close to the flashlight's going to land. Timbers on it too. Oh, that's going to finish the kill onto the Nautilus. Inexhaustive TP's in, but UFT's just running for the hills now. CR Hope, Hope forced the flash out with the Moonlight Vigil behind him. Old Town gets taken out by Legans. They're just running. There's no way that they can get out of this. Huing's going to go down now. Little Frosty's on the run. He still has flash. Good flash dodge out of the Viego stun, but it just does too little too late, honestly. Warriors with a huge play out of the Callum McCoy flash.
Yeah, beautiful team engage as they just eviscerate the side of UFT, and they're going for the big prize, the big worm, the big Baron. And yeah, that was just they killed the jungler. Nothing can happen. Should be a sweet Baron take for them as Fiora trying to get some mid tower pieces, and
Yep.
we'll see if they actually try and get to this dragon before them, right? Like at least try and get some vision control. The Wukong should be back up, and you gotta try for something at this point.
Oh, but the TP is gonna flank's gonna come out from Onad. Can he get onto this flashless TF? He will. Snowtooth's here to cover. Is there any more damage to finish off Little Frosty as he just kites backwards? Good ult by Nautilus. Knocks up two means that there's going to be no more chase onto the TF. The Warriors are right onto the Dragon. Fiora forced to go into the bot lane. There's no way that this Dragon's gonna go to UFT. Onad's actually chasing Fortunate. Fortunate now caught on the wrong side of the map without flash. All of Warriors hunting for him. Can he get out of this? No, his probably not. No one on his team is with him. Oh, Warriors actually letting him go. Two of them backing, exhaustive,
Yeah, they got their
respecting it.
dragon. They still haven't backed because they wanted to keep that tempo up. So again, not gonna throw the game in any way. Just really clean play from.
Yep, just getting the reset, playing it safe and methodical. Dragon, yeah, Infernal Dragons. Oh, it's actually playing on the bottom to Exhaustive, who may have overstayed his welcome. He's gonna all out his way under turret. He's just dashing everywhere. That's Cassante for you. Manages to get out, and there's gonna be no more follow up on him.
Yeah, and he's just so tanky right now. It's really hard for a UFT to try and kill him because he's just stacking all the armor in the world, right? So, yeah, he does it. He's able to get out, and that kind of brings up the bigger point of like, how do you get through this front line, right? The front line of Waterloo is just so much beefier, and we saw Fiora trying to go for that flank, but Waterloo's on top of it. Silas, I believe, TF ults behind them. They had wards behind them already, so they're able to
Mhm.
track the Fiora and make sure that they're not able to get onto the Jinx in a surprising way or anything like that.
Yep, no surprises allowed as they push onto the bot side here. All of UFT is actually hovering towards the top, trying to clear out mid and top instead. Little Frosty's solo defending here against a Baroned up wave. The wave clear is just not there as a TF. Snow 2 is coming to hub now, but it looks like UFT, or excuse me, Waterloo is just going to push the case.
Yeah, they're pushing the pace, getting this tower. The Cassante is gonna back to make sure Fiora doesn't get any bounties in the top lane. And yeah, just making use of these Baron minions to pick up more of these towers along the way. And like you can maybe try and go here. They know Cassante doesn't have TP and Fiora does. Like maybe try and get a flank off. You gotta look for something here. You cannot just sit and let them take your towers.
Yeah, this is a 3v3 in the bot side as Onas hovers over towards mid. And Exhaustive and Fortunate having another 1v1 top lane. Fortunate looks like he's winning out, but it's honestly close. And Exhaustive didn't actually have all out there. So,
Yeah, the Infernal Soul just gives him so much damage now too.
yeah.
Like it's making a huge difference in their fight because he just continuously can proc it like that. And yeah, I don't think Fiora is like you shouldn't be looking to take down the Cassante. You have to use that
Speaking of,
TP
there's
advantage.
Kasane going all out. He's going to take down Fiora. No chance for him with his ult down. And the engage is also going to go in on bot side. Who is going to go down with the flashless Aphelios? And this might just be the game for Warriors. The Wukong, stolen Wukong ult, excuse me, from Silas coming out. Hook onto Silas isn't going to be enough. Tibbers comes out, actually misses. Huge Cyclone by Wukong means he can take down Callum Coy. Is there any more to be had? No, he's going to go down to the Jinx instead. And now Warriors without a wave, though, and without Baron, I don't know if they can fall. That was actually a huge play by Ultan, maybe saving the game.
Yeah, the support does end up going down, but they are still strong as the next wave comes in. Still a while for this Fiora to come back up and the Aphelios to
Oh,
come back up.
huge
Null is
engage by
dead.
Onad. This Silas is just dominating everyone with the picks. And this might just be the game. Onad
Look at him
flashes
go.
again onto Little Frosty. Little Frosty forced the flash out and hide in his base. He's actually just going to go down anyways. There's nothing stopping Warriors from just hitting the Nexus, and that's going to be game 2 to the Warriors.
Warriors in convincing fashion take game two against UofT here. It was just as easy as that. They played to their win conditions when they got to the team fights, played a consistent front to back, and they're just able to win out here. And yeah, like we said the Fuhrer is gonna have to try and beat the Cassante, try and get that split push victory, but Cassante just ends up solo killing after he gets the Infernal Soul, so that win comes out the window. As yeah, just beautiful play by Waterloo, taking game two and being on match point for the series.
Yep, huge win by Waterloo, putting them on that match point. Like you said, this might honestly be a clean sweep at the current pace. That win did take a couple minutes longer than their first one. There was a bit of fight back from UFT, but still just a dominating win from them. And yeah, now they're within one game of qualifying, one win, excuse me, qualifying for CLol Nationals.
Yeah, this game was closer than the last one, so we'll see if next game goes even better for UFT. It's not over yet, but from what I've seen from Waterloo, they're not a team to get over aggressive or anything and throw leads away. So we'll see how this next game ends up going down. We'll be back after a short break. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. We've got Waterloo going 2-0 up over UofT here as we're about to head into game three. Let's see if UofT can try and bring something out of the back now that their backs are to the wall and see what they've got up their sleeve, or if Waterloo's just going to make it a clean 3-0. How do you think this is going to go, Muffin?
I'm really hoping that UFT can pull it back and not make this a clean sweep. It's going to be a high mountain to climb in order to get the reverse sweep for themselves. But yeah, Waterloo on the verge of qualifying for CLol Nationals. They have the momentum, they have the skill, and they have the determination to make this happen for them.
Yeah, like you said, Waterloo has been playing really well so far. They really want that national, so they're going to be looking to go again in game three. Even between game one and two, they've been switching up their drafts, so we're going to see what else they can bring out in these next games. But yeah, like we're going to be heading into draft sometime soon. Do you think there's going to be anything else that what win cons can they kind of try and look for against Waterloo? Any weak points they can target?
Yeah, given that UFT was actually on blue side both games, I'm expecting there to be a side switch. So with UFT on the red side, there is more opportunity, I think, to try to play through their strong avenues and try to win. Especially through the draft, I think first picks for them haven't been the most powerful. I suppose not really bringing in the priority that you'd expect out of a blue side first pick. So I think that if they just alter their draft a bit and start to play a bit towards their strengths of arguably scaling and playing through hooing, I do think that there is opportunity for them to get a game back at least.
Yeah, they have gone to Wukong in a couple of these
Yeah.
games, and we've seen some good engages from it, but it hasn't quite worked out. We'll see if they end up switching any of that away to some of the other junglers. Like your blue side and you're banning out some of the power picks, you can easily choose to pick one of them away instead. And we've
Exactly.
seen like Maokai and Vi, which are really prevalent in today's meta, and see if they take up any one of them, as it just gives a really easy point and click that you can follow off of. Because we saw with those other Wukong ults, they look really cool, but not the best follow up, and Waterloo still ended up winning the fight, right? So we'll see if any changes come out from UFT to shake things up and give them another chance.
Yeah, that's I think follow up is the key problem. I do believe that the Wukong it was the highlight for the UFT both games, so I do think that if it came out again, it wouldn't be the worst. I just want to see the rest of the team more cohesive around it. I don't think that Fiora pick was too great either, as we saw. Honestly, still lost to Kasante in the 1v1 later on, and just doesn't offer that team fighting that UFT is arguably known for, especially for playing around Hooing. But it looks like UFT is actually on the blue side again. Maybe a side selection preference on the side of Warriors.
Yeah, and Blue Side is just really good right now. I don't blame them for continuing to pick it. I don't think it's been making the difference. But to that end, like we could see a better impact from their first picks coming out. They've done the Varus and the Aphelios, putting priority on the ADCs, which is rightful to do, to be fair. But we're gonna see if like try and get some more counters or try and get anything else that can try and catch Waterloo off guard. And yeah, it looks like the same band so far, trying to salty run it back. But yeah, it's got better between game two and game one, so we'll see if that trend keeps continuing for them.
Yeah, if UFT can just make let's make those small tweaks between game one and game two and make that again, make those improvements. Game three could look a lot better, and honestly, it is just those small margins that could swing the game for them. Yeah, the draft looking the same so far though, which is a bit surprising to me. I think one issue that UFT had in the prior two drafts was a lack of AP damage. In game one, it was just the spellbook Ari with Roa. In game two, it was just the TF with Roa. Just not enough AP damage to cut through warriors in some team fights. So maybe that is somewhere they can look to make a change.
Yeah, and Maokai's actually left up, so we'll see if it does end up being first pick or if Warriors just want to take that away. It's a really strong pick. I really want to see UFT trying to pick it up here.
Yeah, I'd love to see it, but again, these bands are looking very familiar. I would expect UFT to either take maybe the Maokai, maybe they just go for okay, like you said, very good call. It does look like it would be the Maokai. Warriors again, like we said, banning Greg as Jace Thresh. This is very common, or it's not very common, excuse me, but as we've seen before, so nothing special there. We'll see what they respond with this round one pick. I don't expect it to be anything too special, given it's been working for them.
Yeah, a lot of different ADCs are still left up. The Annie did well last time, so would love to see that come out again. It's just such a versatile support. It has the ability to go in, but has really good trades in lane, things like that. So we're probably gonna see that with an AD that can just scale like usual. That's what they've been looking to use so far. Everything is pretty much left up. They've got Zeri, Zaya, Jinx, and they like the game two draft. They're gonna bring it back.
Yeah, yeah, that's like the same draft as last game. Like we said with that Annie, very good showing from Callum Coy on it. He had a huge engage in mid lane once, and just overall playing very well and biting. putting pressure on UFT with the stun up. And Viego again should had a good showing as well, taking over Wukong's jungle early on and just winning out on that 1v1 as well as in team fights.
Yeah, and you've got the Zaya Khan that's hopefully going to be coming out from UFT. A really good lane that's built together against what's going to be a bit more slower paced lane from Warriors. I want to see them try and focus on this bot lane. You got a lot of engage and follow up CC from them. I want to see Maokai coming down there and getting them ahead.
Yeah, really like this duo pick, picking for that synergy with the Zaya Rakan. Rakan, same support pick as game one, although I do believe this is Snow 2's Rakan, as opposed to game one with that player change. So I do think the engages will hopefully be more cohesive given he's their starting support. With that Zaya as well, just the cohesion will be massive, I believe. And honestly, just yeah, I think this would really help turn the team fights that they've normally been losing.
Yeah, and we've seen the TF ban coming out. It should maybe just be two mid bans into picking your mid laner here. And yeah, they don't want to face that Cassante again as they take that off the pool.
You have Casante back to banning that, which they hit in game one, but opted to leave open game two. TF, I think, is an interesting ban from the side of Warriors, given that I guess they didn't have the strongest showing on the side of UFT in that game too. That said, they could be worried about Silas being banned and thus not having the best answer for the TF's roam. And that Zeri pick was what they opted for, which, like I said, another scaling ADC. It was left open this time. Pretty standard pick.
Yeah, and a lot of bans of what we've seen previously in these matches, the Silas and the Gnar also being picked up. So taking those comfort picks away from each of the enemy teams, as I want to see like decent, good blind mid come in here and closing that out with a nice counter pick in the top. And yeah, when you think decent, good mid blind pick, you pick Ari.
Yep, very solid pick, very safe. It's also taking it away from Little Frosty, who we did see played in game one, so eliminating the champ pool just a bit more. Maybe Little Frosty actually opts for the victor this time and reversing the matchups. It is a champion he is known for, so that could be something he decides to do. That said, they will have to blind the top laner here as well.
Yeah, and the Victor Ari has been like it's not a matchup representative of what we saw in game one, I believe, but it should be good enough for them to survive. But ooh, I like the Camille hover here. I'd love to see it come out.
Yeah, I honestly, just speaking to the Camille pick, which is going like very likely going to Fortunate in the top lane. Fortunate has been um getting gapped a bit hard in the top lane, to be honest, in the matchups. Granted, there was jungle help in some of them, but I would want to see, I guess, a stronger power pick coming out. And this is a champion that is known for its 1v1 potential. So I think that if Fortunate can get rolling on this Camille, it'll be very good for the side of UFT.
Yeah, it is, however, a blind pick, so it's easily counterable. There are a bunch of things you can do into it. I personally think like Malphite's a really good pick into it, just to nullify it while they focus on their bot lane, like they've been doing most of these games. But yeah, Camille and Oriana, that's a lot better in these team fights and a significant AP threat. So you can't just have a top laner that's just building full armor again this game.
Yeah, not to mention Maokai also built some AP or tends to with the demonic embrace. The
Mm.
Camille is also a huge pick for the Zeri, sort of like a pseudo vibe, being able to lock her down and not give her any options for escape. So yeah, I do like UFT's draft a lot. It is very focused again on team fighting, but if they can just execute well, I do think it's very strong.
Yeah, and in the end, the set is a top laner that's chosen as a counter pick. It's a pretty even matchup from what I know. It really comes down to the skill between these players, and you can say that for most of these lanes. The main thing I'm looking at is UFC's got a Zaya Rakan. You got Zaya with the root, Rakan with the knockup against Zeri Annie, which together is just that one dash. So I want to see them trying to focus on that bot lane and stop them from getting that amazing amount of gold that's been happening on
Yeah.
the game one and two.
Yeah, Last Dance just finding gold every game and managing to get a lead. So hopefully they can shut him down and get Hooing rolling themselves, and that would be a huge swing for UFT in the game. And yeah, set pick is something Inexhaustive is known for into the Camille. I do believe it is somewhat it's more or less, I believe, a skill matchup, but it is definitely set favored. There's a lot lower level of execution for him to win that matchup. So we'll have to see if Fortune is able to win that 1v1.
Yeah, it will be definitely a skill matchup. I think mid lane too. When you've got Ari versus Oriana, it's all about spacing and dodging each other's abilities. Really comes down to that. And we saw in game one, Victor was just dodging everything on Ari. So if Onak can do that same kind of performance and dodge the abilities from Oriana, he should make quick work of him. As this is, I believe, the first time that like Ari should have like more shove against the Oriana. In the other matchups, like the Silas is supposed to get poked down a bit early. The Victor is supposed to not have prio into Ari early. but Ona still found a way. So we'll see if it gets even worse or if this Oriana is just cracked. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Indeed, Ona just dominating the mid lane and taking control no matter the matchup. So we'll see if he can make that happen once again. And yeah, just in terms of, I guess, overall team comps, what do you think the win con is for Warriors?
Yeah, and with the Warriors, when you've got just a similar comp to what it was like last game, a good front to back team fight, and if they can get a reset onto this onto anyone on the enemy team with this Viego, then it'll kick up the fight real quick. You got like Rakan, Maokai, Camille, just really good characters to reset with. So if they're able
Yeah.
to blow someone up with like Ari Charm and an Annie stun to just blow one person up, then the fight should literally just be over. On the other hand, UFT, what do you see them looking to in this game?
Yeah, like we said, I think it is just dependent on that team fighting. They have to get the ball rolling, and they can't fall behind in the top matchup, and they need to get that Zaya strong. Otherwise, their lack of damage, I think, will get to them again. Um, yeah, just in team fights, they need to lock down that Zeri with the Camilo, with the Maokai W. It's very hard to avoid. Like I said, you also have the Rakan follow up. It's a lot of CC and a lot of team fighting power. If they can execute that, then I think they can take the game.
Yeah, and this is interesting. We've got a 5 stack coming down to bot lane as Waterloo wants to get control of this bot bush. And Rakan should be able to get out of there fine, no harm, no foul. And I want to see them trying to get some wards on the top side since they see everyone here in Waterloo, as that's exactly what's going to be going down.
Yep, Maokai and Camille walk into that red side jungle of Warriors. This is a bit of a different level one, like we saw Warriors have not ran bot as a 5 man once yet this series. So Maokai's going to get that deep ward into the Warriors jungle. And yeah, I think this then does tend to favor UFT with the ward advantage.
Yeah, Maokai's actually sticking around. We'll see if he backs up when he sees the Viego. He
Yeah,
does choose to do that. I don't think we want to scuffle there. But
yeah,
yeah, what we have been talking about, Maokai's got a point and click route. He's got a lane wide ultimate. Their team fight ultimates are actually really good this game. And if they are first to the punch, if they're able to lock down the Zeri, it changes the tide of the game.
absolutely. We can see that Ward actually is not going to spot anyone out. Maybe they thought that Viego would walk through it to start red, although they did see Viego walking into the Raptor bush. So
They should know
nothing.
he's starting top side. And
Yeah.
Ona again got that Raptors ward that we've seen from him in every game. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's gonna be able to see like Maokai's gonna be doing these Raptors regardless of if he does a full clear or if he does like a 3 camp gank. So they'll be able to track him really efficiently.
Yep, absolutely. And Maokai with that top start pathing towards the ball as we expected. And exhaustive, excuse me, just punching out Fortunate. This is how the matchup is expected to go level one. Camille just can't trade autos with the set if he starts Q. So she's going to be pushed in and take some damage early on.
Yeah, the dynamic of the matchup is actually pretty similar to last game where Set's gonna be that beefy boy having some good trades in the early game. So Camille needs to make sure not to fall too far behind as she is really low right now. And look at this pressure coming from Callum.
Yeah, bot lane again with the pressure. Oh, but the knockup's gonna land from Rakan. Is there any follow up? Not real. Oh, actually, some decent stun by the Zaya with the E pull. It's good damage on a Calm, but nothing else to be had. No. Oh, actually, Calm did burn heal, so that is again a winning skirmish for the side of UFT.
Yeah, Annie has the stun up, so she's able to walk up like that, and even if Rakan engages, it'll still be a fine trade. So it's really showing the prowess of this range to melee knowledge that Callum has, and they're just playing it really well. And you see Maokai come in mid here, trying to look, or is he just crossing over?
Yep, just crossing over. Legan's actually making a
Mhm.
great play to steal those Raptors, having seen Maokai topside, I
They'll meet each
believe, on
other.
the war. Yeah, they'll meet each other if we could see what the hell's going on. There's a 2v2 ult 10. No, just walks
Not
out.
much.
Nothing had in top and in exhaust actually had to burn flash. He's on the run from Fortunate. Is he gonna go down? We don't know, but oh, and a huge the E flash by Camille means she'll get the first blood, but also goes down to the turret. But good play from Fortunate, actually turning the tides on that matchup. Legan's trying to steal the red buff now, but CR Huing's gonna come and close the gap. Legans is going for the fight. This is a level 2 Zaya. Doesn't really have that much pressure. He's gonna get the shield from Annie. Legans just walks up, he's gonna get knocked up, but no, Snow 2 going in is gonna go down. He's gets stunned up before he can flash out. Last Dance is going to hunt. He flashes in to kill Huing, who had to flash over the wall. That's gonna be a double kill over the Last Dance DF. And again, Gold just going to Last Dance, finding it on the map.
Yeah, action-packed game so far. As you know, Camille finds one kill, but Waterloo bring it back with just huge pressure on the spot line. Viego just taking everything in this jungle. He takes the red, he takes the Raptors, but
Oh,
Oh,
Fortunate is in with the
another
empowered
one.
Q. Inexhaustive. It's another solo kill for Fortunate, but this time he doesn't go down. It didn't look like Inexhaustive has his W up. Fortunate actually flexing the muscles in this matchup.
Yeah, Fortune, he's just having beautiful trades. I don't know how this man does it, but he's able to get the edge and become a serious threat in this game. That's 2 kills onto the Camille now. She's gonna start running away with it. This is gonna be really tough for the set to deal with.
Yeah, not just Seb, but it's going to spell bad news for Last Dance. If the Camille gets fed, he's just going to get ult and empowered Q one shot by the Cho'Gath, the mini Cho'Gath ult on the side of Camille. So they're going to have to hope that Fortunate doesn't push this lead too much.
Yeah, but also there's a 2-in-1 Camille on one side. There's a 2-0 Zeri on the other side. So that's a bit of a yikes as well. She picks up both kills there. I think she flashed over the wall to pick up the second one,
Yeah.
showing the aggressiveness, even though she's playing a late game scaling character.
Yeah, speaking of scaling, she also decided to start Cull, which obviously turned out well for her, regardless of the fact that it's not as strong of an item. She'd still got that double kill. We can see her there just dancing around without flash, just trying to get back to farming it up and scaling. But yeah, it's a very strong Zeri that's going to be scary once she gets her items.
Yeah, and we see Annie actually leaving her and coming down for this mid lane roam.
Little Flashy does have flash. The stun's gonna land. Is he gonna flash? A charm connected. This is a great chain CC. No level sixes though. Is there enough damage? The auto comes out. No, there's just not enough damage on the side of the level 3 Annie and level 5 Ari. But flash is burned from Little Frosty, so overall still a good trade. He's forced to walk back to lane after having burned TP already.
Yeah, but the jungler and support are coming down to try and track down Zyra Khan here. Zaya does not have flash, and they should know it.
Yeah, UFT's over pushed. I don't know what they're doing here. They're stuck on a turn. Oh, actually, good trade on Legans. Legans is gonna go down. Snow 2 gets the kill with the ignite. Can they win the 2v2 now? Last Dance has no flash, so he's just trying to shift from the side. It's not enough. I thought that was a grief play by UFT, but a great turn on to Legans, knowing that this Viego is actually quite squishy.
Yeah, they had the numbers advantage, but Viego with the E just going too fast, and the rest of the team isn't quite there with them. And UFT, they recognize it, and they turn on the Viego and kill him before
Yeah,
anything else happens.
excellent play by them, and also probably knowing that they can't just run. If they run, they're probably just gonna get taken down. So turning the fight is the correct play. And oh my
Oh
god,
my
that
god.
empowered Q damage. Dodging out on the W as well, set means that she gets the true damage trade and wins out.
Yeah, and it's actually frozen away from the set if Camille decides to keep it that way. Now that Camille has the Sheen as well as some AD to match up with, these trades just become so hard for the set because she just stuns him up, gets the trade, and walks away before set can use his W effectively.
Yeah, but Exhaust is still taking the fight. He's actually going to land an empowered W. Not bad, getting some good true damage there. Legan's looking for a play mid, but nothing to be had.
Yeah, is
Old Tan
Maokai
hovering
coming bot?
bot.
Zeri's a bit too pushed up.
Yeah, Zeri still has no flash. He doesn't know the Maokai's here, but it is a Zeri. He's going to be able to parkour over that wall and just leave. I don't think Old Tan really wanted to commit there. He still had flash and W. I feel like he could have gone for a play, but knowing it is Zeri, decided not to. And we see every champ or both teams hovering now 4v4 on the bot side for this dragon. Oh, inexhaustive
She
almost gets
has
taken
ult.
down.
That should be a kill.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a kill for the. Oh, if she can get onto the set. Set has no W, no flash, and no ulti. Fortunate should be able to finish this off. One auto, two autos, and that's another solo kill over to Fortunate. Warriors onto the Dragon, though. Charm's going to land on Little Frost, but no follow-up. Ultan's going to go in, a level 5 Maokai. He actually going to live, though. Barely manages to live. Legan's going low. Last Dance going low on the bot side. With no flash, going to get shut down by the Zaya. Snow 2 scampering out with barely any HP. Onat's on the trade. Flash Charm's going to try to trade the kill. He does. Is he going to be able to get out? He has another ult stack now, trying to run away from Little Frosty. On the top side, Onat is gonna go, or excuse me, Olnat is gonna take down Legans, but he's gonna go down himself to Callum Coy. Little Frosty manages to finally take down Onat, and in the end, I believe it is a 3-for-2 in the favor of UFT, or excuse me, a 3-for-1 actually. I believe only Oltan went down.
Yeah, UFT come up big in the dragon fight as their focus was a lot better than Waterloo's. Waterloo was just hitting multiple people at the same time, but UFT is able to pick up the actual kills. And yeah, this is exactly what UFT wanted to start off with.
Yeah, great play by them. Although the dragon doesn't go down, they still win the kills. Oh, Exhaustive actually is gonna win the one
How?
v one. That is set for you. Even though he's behind, he just punches out Camille. Camille letting Set hit that empowered W doesn't take the smart trades effectively and just loses out. Huge shutdown on Exhaustive.
Yeah, just so much raw AD coming in with those punches. He's got the pickaxe and a longsword. And, like, yeah, Camille's ahead, but that's not how you win the matchup, right? You can't
Yeah.
have sustained trades against this Conqueror set. You gotta get those quick trades in and back off. And yes, Camille does end up going down. These top laners, it's gonna be intense.
It's gonna be very intense. Like you said, with that pickaxe coming out for Set, I do believe that will be a Bork. So Inexhaustive not backing off, not willing to shy away and just build tank. He's willing to build the damage and be a force on the side of Waterloo. Callum, nothing to be had here, but both teams trying to look at this dragon. Maybe not UofT though, as Maokai is topside. He's gonna try to trade the Herald instead as Legan sold the Cloud Dragon for the first dragon.
Yeah, I think Rakan spots the jungler on the drag, so Maokai is able to trade the Herald here. The Herald, in general, is considered better than the Dragon when you're able to pick it up early so that you can snowball with it. And yeah, we'll see if they can get a good placement, get some more gold onto their carries.
Yeah, great cross map from the side of UofT. I do imagine this Herald will go. Actually, I won't speak to it because none of the turrets are low, but all three lanes are probably a good place to drop it to get gold onto your carry. Zaya is your main carry, Oriana as your main AP carry, and also just the Camille you could help push the lead against this set. Granted, that lead might have faltered a bit after that 1v1. They're going for the play on an exhaustive. He's going to get locked up by the Camille. Oh, there's no way he can get out of it. The CC is going to follow through. Ult down the W, and the ult is going to go in. And Exhaustive has a big W shield though. Can he
Yeah,
get out of this?
ult.
He ults this Maokai backwards. He's going to run under turret, and he's going to live even without flash. Great play by him. The skirmish is going to continue. Boss at last as DF's looking for the fight. CR
Viego's here
hooing as
though.
Snow2 force the backup under turret. Viego's here. Can he look for the stun? He has flash. He's not going to commit it, but he still lands it anyways under Snow2. He's going to get the reset. CR who is stuck under turret now. No ult on the Zai. The TP is going to come through from Fortune to try to cover. He's going to get ulted on by the Viego. He's not going to go down just yet. Legan's fashes in and gets the reset, but he's taking turret now. Legan's is going to go down. Fortune's going to get that kill. Little Frosty also TP's in now. This is a Fiesta in the ball lane. Onad is also here, but there's going to be nothing more to be had. In the end, I think it's a 2-for-1 in favor of Warriors.
Yeah, bot lane party and Waterloo ends up coming out a bit on top with the 2-for-1. And this actually means that Camille's going to be able to miss out on farm because of that TP as, oh, here comes Annie again.
Oh, good flash by Little Frosty. Once again, dodges the Tibber stun. And yeah, just looking at the gold, I think the main lead for UofT is in that top lane, but it's gonna slowly dwindle down here as Sec gets both CS and the wave. Fortunately, CR Hui actually does have a lead as well, just barely 300 gold up on the Zeri.
Yeah, and even though the ult misses, they do get the flash out of an immobile mage mid laner. So I want to see the Annie with flash ult trying to get onto that Oriana again as Camille goes in for another kill.
Yeah, it's a 1v1 again in the top lane. Inexhaustive still has his W up. He's going to land the E into the huge W, but it's not enough. He's going low. Fortune has a Sunder finish. He's just going to kick Inexhaustive back to the fountain.
Yeah, Sunder is just a huge power spike for the Camille, so she's just able to face tank everything Set does and just kill him anyway. And yeah, Set has an Executioner's, finally get some healing reduction to help out with that, but he needs a lot more gold before he can actually win out on these fights.
Legan's gonna catch Snow2 out here in the bot river, but they're just gonna walk away. There shouldn't be much follow up there. Just good chunk damage.
Yeah, exactly. Just some chunk damage. Rakan is a slippery boy, so he can get out pretty easily. And there's just some vision wars going on here, but should be able to pick it up.
Yep. Things are slowing down here as there is nothing on the map to grab just yet. Teams are backing up, just fighting for vision and farming it up. We see Onat's actually moving towards top side, but it is pinged out. So Fortunate should be aware of this. He's gonna back off. We see Old Tan, excuse me, hovering bot, but he should be. Oh, actually, engage him. I still do over the wall. No one can follow. He's just gonna go back right over. Not sure what the
Yeah,
intention was
that's
there
just
for
a
the
bit of
follow.
poke, I guess, coming out.
Yeah, Rakan known for his poke. Calvin Coy does take a bit of damage.
And this game, like, I just want to say what they wanted to do with the Fiora in the last game, they've been able to accomplish with the Camille this
Hmm.
game, right? And it's so much easier to get a Camille ahead because she can literally just trap the enemy in the cage and the jungler can come over. As this Ari's looking to try and fix that by having repeated roams to this top side. But Camille is playing safe enough, or will I curse it?
Looks like he's gonna go in anyways, even though he might have known. He's gonna land the Hextech Ultimatum onto Exhaustive, dodge the damage. Can he trade the kill? No. Shut down over to Onan. He maybe had a chance of killing Inexhaustive there, but the settled putting him under turret just means there was no real chance.
Yeah, great roam by the Ahri as Camille ends up going down. Big shutdown going over as bot lane actually rotates mid to pick up the wave so they don't even lose that much. As the Herald is finally popped, gonna get some plates mid here.
Yeah, I don't think only Old 10 is going to get gold on this. I think Little Frosty
Mhm.
backed off a bit too far, so that's gold only into Old 10 on the Maokai. Not ideal for the Herald usage. But yeah,
Yeah,
just.
good reaction there by everyone to just swarm and not let Oriana in there to get the gold.
Mhm.
And Zaya gets some more plays bot too. So UFT is doing a good job of securing gold here. As oh, will there be a counter engage? There's not really much of an angle to look here as Maokai is
Oh,
hovering
Callum
around.
Coy has flash, so he's going to look for it. Oh, he actually baits out the ult from the Zaya. It looked like he was gonna cast something, but he didn't actually. Zaya thinking Timbers was gonna come out, burns her ulti. That's a huge cooldown to go down before Dragon comes up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, great mind game as she just autos to the ult and baits out the ult for free. And yeah, she still got that ult, and Zaya's a bit harder to get. She's got her ult, she's got the cleanse, but Oriana should be a lot more free when you've got Annie with flash ult, Ari with flash charm. That like, I want to see a kill going on to her soon before her flash comes back up.
Yeah, knowing that it's going to be up soon, I do think they'll try to take advantage of it at this Dragon fight. Either take it for free. Camille actually gets the first turret, pushing Inexhaustive back here. It's a huge lead for her now. She's going to be massive, not just as a champion, but in this 1v1 as she looks for the kill on Inexhaustive. Now Q2 is going to land good damage. Inexhaustive misses his E grab. We see that matchup is slipping out of the hands of Inexhaustive despite that one solo kill he had.
Yeah, the key thing is she's staying top. I think she's gonna start roaming down now. If Waterloo doesn't finish this dragon suit, they need to get out of there because 1.5 item Camille's coming for them.
Yeah, they gotta burn this dragon. Inexhaustive doesn't have TP. He won't be able to follow. Zaya's just shoving the mid lane. The Warriors are burning down the dragon. Can they finish it? Ultan, Nature's Grasp is gonna come out. Can he get it? No! Secured by Legans with a smite, but he's gonna go down for his troubles. Rakan's looking for the engage. He gets charmed down and cancelled. Can he finish anything else? No, but Kyo's over the wall now. But there is no one to be get go on. And in the end, it's gonna be a 1-0 in favor of UFT, but Warriors do get their second dragon.
Yeah, Waterloo is aware. They just let the jungler die, secure the dragon, and get out without too many casualties. And this is perfectly how you're supposed to play around this fed top laner, right? Like you know she's top, so get that dragon started up, finish it off before she's coming here to end the
Looking for
fight.
the
As
dive on
they're
Onan,
going.
but Onan has no flash. He lands a charm, good charm onto the Camille, but the Hextech ultimate is going to come out and just put him in a cage. Little Frosty's going to finish that kill, but the turret damage is actually enough to finish off Little Frosty. He did not use his flash there and trades the kill one for one. Beautiful by Onan.
Yeah, and it wasn't actually Camille tanking that aggro, so it becomes a 1-for-1, and that's a bit of a disaster. That should have been an easy kill against an Ari who doesn't have ult when you got a Camille
Oh, we have
ult
a
for
play
another
going on the
fight.
top for Inexhaustive finding gold.
Okay.
Ruin's going to go down. Rakan had the flash over the wall to survive. Not sure what happened there, but yeah, Zaya without ulti is a pretty easy target if you're not going to, I guess, burn your summoners otherwise.
Yeah, I believe it was just a face check in that situation where
Mm.
Zaya walks into two people and just quickly gets one shot, and this does end up the Herald being going over,
Oh,
but
but they're actually
oh,
looking for the contest. Little Frosty TP's into the top try, which Inexhaust is half HP, but it looks like oh, smited away
stop!
by Ultan. Can he pick it up though? He's gonna land the CC onto Inexhaust, but that is a tanky set. Legans is also going low. Little Frosty here's with the damage. He's gonna get grabbed in. Where is the damage actually? Ultan, that's where it is. He's taking down Legans. Fortune is also here. They're gonna finish it off Inexhaustive. That's a huge play for UFT. 2-0 and the Herald stolen.
Yeah, massive turn as they pick up the Herald, pick up a couple kills, and that's huge for them. Viagachi didn't have his ult, which is a key part of finishing off
Mm.
his targets because he used it on the Zaya. So recognizing that, they're able to TP over and pick up the kill and pick up the Herald as well.
Yeah, great play. I thought it was a free Herald with that Zaya pick, but no, UFT is there to match and make the play happen. Great play by them. And they're actually in the gold lead now of about 3K.
Yeah, and like this Camille, this Oriana is actually getting a lot of gold fed into them, and there's going to be another Herald coming in to hopefully finish off that mid turret soon. So UFT is looking in the best spot they've been looking this entire series. So we'll see if they can close out this game.
Yeah, picking up the standing gold. That's bot turret going to go down. Like we said, that mid turret is low with the Herald threat looming. This is UFT's effectively their first substantial lead in the series, like you said.
Yeah, and we see the power of this Maokai, right? Like the engage potential is just insane compared to a Wukong. Point and click CC and ult from so far away. It's oh, good charm.
Yeah, not much
Nothing
damage to
ends
be
up
had.
happening. Yeah.
Everfrost Ari just looking for poke damage. She's going to finish off that top turret. That's a good objective to take down for Warriors.
Yeah, Oriana's not going to be bursted out with her current build. She's got a lot of HP with the Kindle Gem and the Rod, and she'll be chilling there. But the tower does end up going down.
Oh, fortunate. Looks for the Eva. It's not going to miss. Exhausted smokes out. Grabs him under turret. Just a bit of damage traded off. Nothing really there. Empowered Q is going to go into most of the set shield.
Yeah, set after finishing the Stride Breaker, having some healing reduction, the trades are a bit better, but it's only going to keep getting worse for him in this side lane.
Yeah, he's still effectively down an item there. But Legans is here to hover, forcing this Camille back as UFT pushes mid. Oh, Legans actually good to go on Unfortunate. I'm not sure if this is the play. He's trying to take the 1v1. He's down 2 levels. Hextech Ultimate is going to come out. Legans gets Q2. He's going to dodge. Fortune's going to dodge the Heartbreaker with E. Is he going to be able to get out now, though? Inexhaustive is falling. Legans is about half HP. Fortune about 1/4. He looks for the flash stun. Fortune flashes on himself, though, and he's going to get out. Well, Tan's now looking for the cover. Legan's gonna be able to sneak out of the ulta, but all of UFT is here. Who is gonna finish off Legans? Although Snow's gonna go down the backside. That's a kill to last dance. Now the chase is coming. Onan is gonna look for Huing. Huing's ult's gonna have to come out. Good flash to dodge the finish kill
Oh,
from Last
one
Dance.
auto needed.
Yeah, Last Dance flashed him, but doesn't finish the kill. Can he finish it with the laser? No, but Onat's just on the chase though. That is a fast Ari, and that is a dead Zaya.
Yeah, the movement speed from the W barely finishes the kill against the Zaya, but Oriana's taking out this top inner turret. More gold going over to the side of UFT, but you can see both teams, they're not waiting for dragons or anything to fight. They want to make stuff happen. They're not going to let the other team get the edge here. And Oriana, she should be able to get out after finishing up that tower. But yeah, next dragon's approaching. Waterloo has somehow got both the dragons, even though they've been having a rough time in some of these fights. And yeah, we'll see if they can end up playing for the soul as their win condition.
We'll see if we can make they can make it happen. Fortune is looking for the catch on Ona. Ona has no ult or flash. He's gonna look for the Everfrost. Oh, Fortune sidesteps the stun, but he doesn't have Hexag Ultimatum just yet, I believe. Or otherwise, or may have been up. He decides not to commit it. This is the fourth dragon coming, or the third dragon coming up. Like you said, Warriors having the first two, so it would put them on soul point if they can secure it. It looks like all teams are going to come in here. 5 men in the bot side for UFT. TV's going to come in for an exhaustive in the mid lane as well. We'll see how
Yeah,
this fight
Warrior
goes
has
down.
really good vision control as the Herald goes out for a bit of pressure, but they're going in dark in here. They're not sure where
Do
exactly
they
they're
know
going to
Fortune
hit.
is behind them? They're looking for the catch on a Fortune. Ona's ulting in after him, but Fortune just runs away. Good Maokai ult is going to mean that Warriors can't turn around. They actually do catch Fortune. Fortune's going to go down. That's a kill over the last dance, but the Dragons are going to go over to the side of UFT. Old Town secures that one. Is there any fight to be had? No. Looks like they're just going to UFT is just going to back off as Warriors tries to back up towards their base. No, a huge Oriana ult onto two. No follow up though. Callum Coy's going to go down low for that. Snow 2's looking for the engage on the choke, but he's not going to go for it just yet. As the Herald crashed into that mid turret. So that is some pressure that they have going for them. Legan's looking for it on the bot side. Inexhaustive. Goes in for the flash ult onto the Zaya. Zaya's forced to ulti out. Can he get out? He's going to Gale Force and flash. No, not flash. So just Gale Force. Inexhaustive is going to finish the kill on Snow though. Onaz was going low on the side of Old Town and on the back side, but on the okay, Old Town's gonna go down to Zaya on the other back side. Excuse me. Oriana's going low under turret. Can they finish her? No, she's gonna live. But that's all 5 alive on the side of Warriors. They're onto the Baron, even though they are low HP.
Yeah, jungler's dead. That means Baron. But Camille's back up. She's TPing. She is insanely strong. Her second Q can literally just kill any, just like that. We're gonna see if they end up contesting it. Onat is
Good
ready for
charm
it
onto
though.
Fortunate. Good cancel. The Camille's gonna get pulled out of her E and just taken
Just beautiful
down.
lockdown.
Yeah, beautiful lockdown. Good charm to start it off. Just not enough there. Fortunate maybe could have made something happen with the low HP bars, but not enough is there. That's gonna be Baron over to Warriors. That's a huge swing for them.
Yeah, Waterloo just playing around the Camille so well, right? Camille's the big threat. She had a really good flank coming, and if
Mhm.
that was executed well, that was like game over for Waterloo in that fight. But they recognize the threat, and they all converge on the weakest side when they're being pincered. And in this case, that was the one person flanking, and everyone converges it. They get the kill, and even though they lose the dragon, they chase him down, win the team fight, and get the Baron. So really, just big brain plays coming out from them.
Big brain indeed. Absolutely excellently played by them. We saw that Oltan try to follow up, force the team fight from the other side with the Maokai ult, but it wasn't enough. It didn't get the distance or the speed to get going. So yeah, UFT, not sure if there was some miscommunication there, but they couldn't follow up on the collapse onto the Camille.
Yeah, and Waterloo have gained the gold lead back with that, and they've got a Baron buff to try and get even more. This
Callum
tower
Coy looking for
should
the
be
engage.
blown
He's going to
down.
land a two-man stun underneath the first turret. Zaya's going to get blown up. Is there anyone else to go down? No. Snow 2 manages to escape there. But just the Shirelias from the Annie into the stun, there's almost no chance Huing lives there without Flash, even with his ult up, which doesn't go down.
Yeah, it's just an instant, right? That's all that's needed for the Tibbers to come out. So she just gets blown up before she can ulti as they're looking on the Maokai here. Bit
Little
tankier
Frosty
though.
gets caught under turret by a charm and an Everfrost. He's gonna go down. Ultan manages to live though. Legan's going low. Ultan scampers away as there's pressure all over the map. They're trying to chase Ultan into his own jungle. Legan's trying to steal the red. Ultan's gonna try to go in, but it's not enough. Onas did to cover Legan's, even though he's low HP. Set's pushing at the bot side now. Charm onto Maokai. Maokai doesn't really have anything to do here. He can maybe finish off Legan's in the 1v1, which he will not. Legan's
Oh
barely
my
lives,
god.
finishes the kill. UFT is just losing everything on the map now.
Yeah, he keeps autoing with the Viego passives and just barely stays alive as they're looking again for another kill
Huge
here.
engage on Exhaustive underneath the turret, but his W shield's absolutely enormous. Huing is not going to live. Neither is Snow 2. The both of them go down. Camille's pushing on the top side. The Oyo Nat's there to answer. Maybe the back door is the answer here if Camille can look for the pressure top. But Waterloo Warriors are looking for the win in the base. Camille is going to take down Ari in the base. Do we have a base race? I doubt it. Warriors
I
looking to
doubt
back.
it, yeah.
Fortunate lower HP, but he might be able to trade this top in him, so it's not the worst. Inexhaustive has backed. Can Fortunate trade
Set
this
as
and get
ult.
out?
If she greeds, perhaps there's a
She
kill.
manages
Oh,
to finish off the turn and just, yeah,
they
get
have the
out of there.
potential to chase her down, which could be really big with the dragon coming out soon. Honestly, if they take their time with it and let her die a bit later, it's really big.
Yeah,
We'll see
Fortune
if
is
they can
trying
find
to
her
make the
though.
great escape, but then he's just caught in the enemy base. Huge heal from the
Oh my
Sunder. Maybe this
god.
is enough to get him out. No, he's gonna get set ulted to put under the turret, and that's gonna be Camille going down. The one strong point for UFT is shut down.
Yeah, and the death timer, importantly, is less than the dragon. So she should be back up, and the teleport should be closed. Not sure if it'll be there, but I would have liked it if they actually kept her alive a bit, but I think it's a bit hard to do that when she's chunking people for half their HP. So they finish her off, and using this 5v4, they've got their backs off, and they're going to get some good vision control, not only in the river, but in the enemy jungle, which has been quintessential for them picking the right fights.
Absolutely, and Warriors, yep, just taking over the map now. Looking at the items that Camille, who was an item up, is now an item down against her lane matchup in the set. Two items for the rest of the champions, except for the the Zeri, who's also at three, so extremely strong. And yeah, right now Warriors just have the power. Inexhaustive's going to TP in, not
Just look how
Inexhaustive, sorry,
dark this is
Onat.
for them. Like, how
Yeah,
do you walk in? How do you flank?
yeah. There's just nothing to look at. We see that they have their soul laners also hovering the top side to shove that out. I'm not sure they're even planning to contest this dragon. Granted, it is not soul for Warriors just yet. Looks like
Yeah,
they'll
they just
play it
don't.
back
They're
and
gonna
farm.
pick up that top lane, and it's gonna be sole point for the Warriors as they pick this up. And the Baron's still a long time away, so it's not like they have a lot of threat on the other side as they just get their waves pushed in.
Yeah, no threat there, but looking like they might look for the engage on mid lane. Shirelia's has come out, I believe. Callum Coy is fishing for it. He has Flash and Tibbers with the stun up. Not gonna look for anything just yet without the follow, but Fortune is of pushing the top again. Inexhaust is gonna back to answer him. Oh, Fortunate knowing that this might be happening cancels his push. All of Warriors resetting now.
Yeah, that's the threat that he's providing with that split push. He's gonna make people back and respond to it. And I actually want to see him going bot lane, you know? Like even when the inhib's taken out, there's not much more you can accomplish.
Hmm.
But that inner turret is really easy for the Camille to take down as this Baron's coming up. So I want to see them switch over the sides, get the Camille bot as they pressure Baron. And if Camille can solo kill the set again, that's a 5v4 fight for the Baron.
I agree. That would be absolutely enormous. That inner turret with the objective value would also be worth a lot of gold. They gotta find gold where they can when they're this far behind. It's hard for them to find and engage with their team comp. A winning engage rather, I should say. So we're gonna have to see as the Water Warriors start to posture towards the Baron, which is spawning in just a minute.
Yeah, it's all gonna come down to positioning in this next fight. Can they find the Camille quickly, or can she take over in these fights? There's a lot of gold that came back on the side of the Warriors in their past fight, and they're looking in a winning position now again. We're gonna see if
The engage is
great
gonna
engage.
kind of Little Frosty. Little Frosty is caught. He's gonna go down to last dance. No chance for him once he's flashed on by the Annie, even with his flash up. It is now a 4v5 with Baron up in 25 seconds. Is there a fight to be had? Flash charmed by Onat. Forces out the ult from Zaya means that he's gonna have to back off now. Rakan going in for an engage. No, he's just looking for some poke to get back to his team. Malkail is gonna come down. It's gonna land on Inexhaustible under turret. Is there any follow-up to be had? No. UFC just stuck in their base. It's a 4v5 without any real follow-up, without that Oriana ult. There's not much damage if Zaya can't free hit.
Yeah, Baron's coming up. Their mid laner's down. A beautiful flash engage from the Annie onto the enemy mid laner
And a
as
charm's gonna
Rakan's
land
dead.
on to Rakan. Yeah, Rakan is dead indeed. That's a kill over to Callum Coy's Annie. Good charm by Onan and good catch playing with the vision.
Yeah, this again comes down to the amount of vision control. Look how dark this map is for UofT, right? It's been like that for so much of this game, and they use this vision control to look for picks with the point and click. So you see that Annie can bring, and that's the Baron going over.
Yeah, that's Baron, second Baron, I believe, to the Waterloo Warriors. They
Yeah,
have
it's
full
28
control of this
minutes.
game. Yeah, yeah, 28 minutes. Granted, this has been longer of a game than both Game 1 and Game 2, so UFT does have that to, I guess, be happy about. They can try to stall this out even longer and maybe outscale. That said, Warriors are in the driver's seat to end this game.
Yeah, just look how well that top jungle is warded, right? Like, how do you walk into that? And like, someone's got to do it. Rakan, he's got to get some vision out, and he ends up getting caught. I can't blame him for it, right? But now Camille pushing up again, trying to pose that side lane threat, but it's just so scary. You don't know
Rakan's
who's
just trying
coming
to
for
do his
you.
job. He's forced to flash. Oh yeah, you never know who's there. You never know who's coming. Forced to flash again. That's also a huge engage tool loss on the side of the Rakan. But Kansas is looking for a 1v2 here. Do they have the damage? Onat's here to cover
They
him
do
though.
not have the
They do
damage.
not have the damage. Oltan's tanky. Snow's trying to look for the run, but he is not going to be running anywhere but the fountain. He's taken out by Legance. Oltan now forced the ult to try to run away. He's running the wrong direction as well though. Little Frosty pushing bot here. But Warriors just gonna Inexhaust actually wins the 1v1 against Camille top lane.
What?
Everything's falling apart for UFT.
It happened
Warriors.
again.
It happened again. This might be the series right here. The mid inhib's gonna go down, but no wave means it onto the bot inhib. What else is there to be had? Nothing really. Little Frosty does back to try to look to defend the base. Oltan managed to get back as well. Sierra Hui's on the flank here, but he's gonna get caught
Flashy
by
there.
the timber. I don't know. Force of Burn, cleanse,
Oh,
burn, cleanse, and ulti. But is the turn there? No. Last Dance is gonna Zanya's to make sure, excuse me, Stopwatch stay alive. McCann's ult over the wall, and the finish off was Last Dance will finish off the Maokai with the laser. They're now chasing into the base. There's nothing to defend it. It's a 3v5 for the time being. Fortune will be up in 10 seconds, though, but there's no real defense behind. He's gonna get engaged. He's gonna flash out, but he's gonna get stunned anyways and taken down. That's an ultless side that just goes down. Inexhausted ults in on the set, and that is going to be the game. Lil Frosty doing what he can, but it's not enough. Baron up. Can the Camille make it happen? Can he be the hero for UFT? And no, it's going to be a clean sweep from the Waterloo Warriors.
yeah, Waterloo Warriors taking it 3-0, going to the finals, taking nationals, just clean play coming out from everyone on their team. Like, this last game looked a bit tough, but their macro was just so decisive, their vision control was so good, and they're able to pick just the right fights for them to win, and they end up coming out on top with a 3-0 stomp over UFT.
Absolutely crazy win, a comeback one at that too from the Warriors in this last one. UFT did have the gold lead, but it wasn't enough. So Warriors well take, like we said, the clean sweep. Absolutely amazing play by them and a well-deserved trip to CLol Nationals.
Yeah, and this was just a really impressive showing. They showed many different comps that they could try and play, and they were just really well done. Like, even though the top laner did fall behind in many of these games, he just ends up solo killing the enemy top anyway. So he'll find a way, even though he was on weak side. And they're just so good at pushing the pace in the early game and having really good macro to just finish out the game, keep control of all the objectives, and just extremely well done by Waterloo. They deserve this win.
Beautifully played all around, and I can't help but feel happy for our University of Waterloo, who will be going to CLol Nationals, as we said. So yeah, congratulations to them, a huge win, and they'll be playing, I believe, in the finals next week.
Yeah, make sure to catch that stream when it does come. But for now, that's going to be it. Thanks for the production team to putting on a great cast. Hope you guys had a good time. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much to our sponsor too, Shopify Rebellion, for making this happen, and thank you for all the viewers that came out.
Yeah.